Yeah. I think we're okay here.
Hello.
Hi. Maybe.
Why would it not go through?
YouTube being YouTube. Changing things.
But there
was already an update to the
YouTube.
plugin, so. Like, XSplit was on that shit.
Oh, they were?
Could we turn that down a notch?
Whoa.
What? Could we turn that down a notch?
Oh, we could. Maybe.
Would you please?
What, you want to sweat it up?
I'd like to sweat it a little bit more than we're sweating now.
Yeah.
What? Oh, sorry.
What? Fury?
We're not talking about that movie. We're talking about the other movie.
We could talk about it,
No, we're not.
but we could.
We could.
It's another 1990 movie.
It is.
And the cat's out of the bag, my friend.
Is it?
Yep.
That's what I heard.
I'm going to grab a
I heard,
battery just in case that's...
heard somebody figured it out.
Yeah. Damn internet sleuths. That whole Reddit thread of figuring it out.
Thread it.
Internet detectives.
Reddit, really?
They're the ones who do that shit.
Oh. They crowdsource their solutions?
Yeah. Usually get innocent people arrested and such, but whatever. You know.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
You can't solve a few crimes without breaking a few lives.
Well.
It's got a point.
It's better to arrest a man than let a guilty man go free.
Okay.
What?
I'm going to say there's a tweet, and we should retweet it. Just for fun.
Man, it's...
Another tweet?
No, there's a tweet.
Oh, a tweet from us.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know.
Man, I gotta tell you, it's freaking warm in here.
Yeah.
We turned it all the way off, right?
No, I
it's
only
still on.
clicked it once.
Oh,
Really?
God.
Because it went from like
To why is it even
absolutely
on? It's just like, this is for aesthetic purposes only.
yeah. Like if it's gonna be either below NATO or
Oh, I saw that porn.
or
parody.
nothing, then you can turn it back up to below NATO.
I'm a big fan of Blow Naden.
It's below Nader.
I voted
Please.
for him back in 2000.
Oh, you were part of that problem.
Yeah, Green Party. Actually, I didn't vote at all.
Yeah. You're part of that problem.
Uh-huh.
Just think, if I had voted, I could have made it 4 votes difference instead of 5.
Well, if you'd understood the fucking ballot, which you probably wouldn't have.
No, I think you probably would have because you're not a confused old person in Boca.
I don't know. Hey, what?
No, ours was normal. Ours was not the butterfly ballot.
Oh.
Here we had it was still a punch, but it was not the one down the center. It was...
Oh. It's good that we have all different ballots.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's smart. Anyway.
Whoa,
Yeah,
IMDb.
that across the nation there are
that
tons.
is...
What?
When I IMDb search you for the final sanction, I do not want the final solution. Anything.
No.
Big difference there, IMDb.
Yeah, IMDb. Get your shit together.
What's the final solution?
No.
It didn't work.
Oh.
It wasn't a solution.
No, it was not. And let's
Was
not
it a
let's stop
precipitate?
talking about it.
Okay. I don't even know what you're talking about, but...
That's
okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Good.
It involves the man that's name sounds kind of like Mittler.
Oh.
Yeah.
That guy who created Minecraft.
Yeah. No, that was the Oculus Rift.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, that floaty guy.
Yeah, the floaty guy.
From the Time magazine.
Yeah, no.
What's his name? Lucky something?
Lucky Palmer.
Lucky Palmer.
Not so.
Who changes their name to Lucky Palmer?
Not so much with
I
that
don't know.
cover though.
Maybe if you're a sheepdog.
Yeah.
Any people rolling in yet?
Yep.
Yeah, people are rolling in.
Rolling in the deep.
Whoa.
Rolling down the highway.
Yeah.
Totally. This is a mobile show.
Oh, hey, I once again not signed into YouTube. That's awesome.
Wow, we got to fucking
You
talk about
should
how he
probably-
enters the room.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's going to do that, isn't it?
Let's stay signed in. That's
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
it's
No,
never stay
it's-
signed in.
no.
No, never.
That
says
button
that.
does nothing.
Nope. Why have a button?
I don't know.
It's dumb.
Stay signed in for never is what I say they mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, gonna talk about this movie, huh?
We sure are.
Woo-wee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be bantering. Nobody's bantering. I'm trying to.
Ha!
No, that's
Ha.
How about them jokes?
I enjoy
Banter.
jokes.
I don't even know her.
Ah, you are right.
Am I right?
Nobody's right.
Am I right?
No.
That's hilarious.
Banter, more like
hilarious.
That's so funny.
Batman. Ha.
What?
What?
What? Batman? What the fuck are you talking
Are you-
about, Chuck?
Are you serious right now?
What's a Batman?
Chuck. You embarrass us.
He's that guy that got hit on the side of the road in Virginia.
Oh,
That's Batman.
Too soon.
Whoa. What in the
What?
hell?
That was Batman.
Was
Man, you guys.
that actually is a kind of a big bummer because that dude was a good dude.
I just want to say that Jeremy's in the chat and he's asking us to keep up the good work, and we are not
Oh.
doing that.
No, he
No,
said
we're
dim
not.
jokes.
Oh, well,
'Cause
all right
We
then.
got dim jokes.
Okay, well, there you go, Jeremy.
Sweet jokes.
Not a joke.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Mostly.
Mostly.
His name was Lenny B. Robinson, which is a terrible name for a Batman, but he was
That's why he changed it to
Batman. Yeah, well,
I would change
He's a pretty cool dude. He visited hospitals and did all that stuff.
as Batman in a fucking Lamborghini. That's cool.
Yeah.
Good for him. The world sucks just a little bit more because he's gone.
We will never forget you.
So have they lynched the guy that hit him yet?
I don't think so yet.
Well, what are they waiting for? I want some mob justice on that motherfucker.
They're making their own rope.
You got to go to Reddit.
It's artisanal.
Yeah,
crowdsourcing
Reddit will
rope,
track him
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
They have to go to a man with a handlebar mustache and a penny farthing to get some artisanal rope.
What's a penny farthing?
That's
No, they'll just make it out of hemp
yeah,
because fucking hemp.
right. Do you really not know what a penny farthing is?
Not really.
You know the old-timey bicycles with the really big front wheel and the
Okay.
small back wheel? Penny, the ratio of a penny to a farthing is very similar. So they call it a penny farthing.
Also a porn star in the 1930s. Penny Farthing.
Really?
No, I have no idea.
I was going to ask.
No, her name was Fanny.
I was
Parting.
with that. I was,
Oh, Fanny Parting.
no, that was her. That was the big starring role she had.
Yes.
It was Penny Farthing.
Penny
and
Farthing in
Fanny Farthing.
Fanny Parting.
Fanny Flapper.
No,
No.
I don't want to watch that one.
You couldn't do that back then. They hadn't invented
Oh.
the fanny flapper back then.
That was the Pink Pony in Atlanta, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, which we should have gone to
Fine.
see the fanny flappers. Yelp had good fanny flapper
It sure
reviews.
did.
Oh, what did they say? Try the
the,
roast
the,
beef?
the birthplace of twerk in Atlanta,
Yeah.
or so they claim.
Yeah.
Had some pretty.
One guy was
the
stellar-
pink pony?
yeah,
believe
pink
it's
pony.
the Pink Pony, yeah.
And one guy was real upset that he took in a stack of fat cash, and then the women only wanted to talk to him when he would bring out the fat stack of
Yeah,
cash.
he was
Offended.
offended that
Like he whipped out 301s and started counting them, and then was dismayed when women came over and started talking to him in the strip club. Like he went to the fucking manager,
And he left a fucking Yelp review.
and then he went home and wrote a Yelp review saying, "Ladies
Wait, does-
bothered me while I was counting my singles."
Does he understand how a strip club works?
No, he did not.
the place was clean before I arrived.
Yeah.
Yelp people don't typically understand how things work.
By the way,
No.
that is the best review for all places on Yelp.
Huh? What?
This place was clean before I arrived.
That should be the top tier. That should be like the RST, LN&E, and Wheel of Fortune. It should be just automatically
Yep,
given.
automatically fill it in.
Try the roast beef.
That's the default review that you have to then delete and then write your own.
KFC. Try the chicken.
I feel like McDonald's like, try the Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
Try the fries.
good and cold. Sometimes they'll pour it over ice.
Yeah. Try a cup of ice water. Best value in town.
They will give it to you begrudgingly.
Yes.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah.
I got to go to the special thing to get the water.
Yeah.
All right.
Podcast?
Yeah, let's do a podcast.
Sure.
Vote? Podcast?
Yeah, let's
I vote podcast.
Let's talk about a movie.
I guess I'm the
that we
swing vote.
watched.
Somebody sway me.
Podcast.
No, let's go home.
Let's talk
Or
about a podcast.
Drink beer.
Yeah?
Eat
Can't convince him let's go home because he's here already.
I don't know. He's making some good sense.
allow us to drink beer and or eat donuts.
You got donuts?
It's making
You got
pretty
beer?
good.
We can get some fucking donuts.
Oh, you're running. Your platform is run on empty promises. I vote for podcast.
Wait, no. I'm
How
not.
far is the Krispy Kreme?
I
Podcast
never
is
said
real
that
and
I
true.
had donuts. Just that we should eat donuts.
Donuts go nuts.
Tell you what,
Cronuts.
Sunday
They're
we will eat
croissant.
donuts
That's good.
Croissant
because
donuts.
we will be here for 6 hours watching fucking wrestling.
Remind
Oh no.
A, Jon Stewart hosting SummerSlam.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yep.
B, remind me to ask you a question about wrestling.
Me?
About this Sunday's wrestling.
Okay. I don't know how I'm going to know, but sweet. It sounds awesome. Oh, is it? Do you need arrow knowledge? Is that why you need me?
No.
Oh, okay.
What is wrestling? How
I
is
was like,
wrestling
that seems to be all I could possibly provide. But yeah.
about the
the Arrow?
viewing of wrestling?
Oh, okay, okay. All right.
Does it involve a special guest?
Sort of.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Huh. Straight from the
Ha.
pink pony.
Do you need help
Fanny
cutting
flapper.
a promo?
Yeah. I need help cutting a promo. That's it. I need.
Oh, it's
someone-
Penny Farthing starring
Fanny
in-
Farthing.
yeah, and Fanny,
Fanny
Farthing.
Do you say fanny parting?
Yes,
Yes,
Fanny Farthing.
Fanny Farthing.
is the starring
That's-
vehicle. That's what made a star out
Yeah.
of Penny
Oh,
Farthing.
okay.
The opening credits are
Penny Farthing's
animated,
fanny parting.
Yeah.
cheeks parting, and
Blah, 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 blah.
title unfolds like
So-
a big banner.
So there is another wrestling pay-per-view this Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did I say wrestling pay-per-view? Oh yeah.
All right.
Yes, it is SummerSlam.
Yeah.
The grandest of them all
Well, except for WrestleMania.
over the summer.
Yeah.
When is WrestleMania?
February.
March.
Oh,
March.
April.
So it's
Sometime back
so it's
then.
the entire early year.
Yes.
Yeah. The first several months of any given
Summer-
You'd
SummerSlam
think
is-
from the way that everything, like after SummerSlam, everything will be WrestleMania. So
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to build up until February, March, April.
They'll
or
pretend
whenever.
they give a shit about Survivor Series, but no one does.
I do.
Okay.
Well, you clearly do because you all watch them.
I give a shit
Each
about it
time.
because it will be a wrestling pay-per-view.
Yep. Fair point.
Well,
Right on.
I appreciate the warning to not be on Twitter on Sunday.
Just fucking block the hashtag. you
No, I don't need
weirdo.
to block it. I just won't go on Twitter. It's easier.
Righto.
Okay.
Well, it's like watching a sporting event that people are like, "Oh, terrible pitch,"
Yes.
and that'll be on their Twitter, and it's like without context, none of this means anything to me whatsoever.
The worst is NFL preseason tweets.
Oh my god!
Because they are the fucking worst. No one is fucking watching NFL preseason games, but people are like, 3rd and 6. It's like, what?
Yeah. That is,
It's
that
4
is
in the
my
afternoon.
favorite
What
thing,
are you
live
talking
tweeting sporting events? It's like,
we at least try to make jokes out of it.
We do, yes.
like-
We take
Yeah.
pictures of the screen.
And we hashtag it so that
We do.
you out there can.
Totally do. Whatever the WWE tells us to hashtag
Yeah.
is what we hashtag.
Basically, it's the one time a month I use Twitter at this point.
Yeah. It's a good time.
so is CM Punk going to be there?
No, he won't.
Probably not.
He is no longer an employee
Oh,
for 18 months.
oh.
You'll not come back 18 months.
Will Hulk Hogan be there?
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
And apparently neither do they, right?
Yeah, I'd
Never heard
not
of him.
heard of Mr. Hogan.
Terry is actually his name.
I don't know.
Haven't
Terry.
heard of Terry
Don't know
Hogan
him.
either.
He must
I have
be
a friend
an
who
indie.
actually had his phone number for a while. And you call
Was
him
your friend Bubba the Love Sponge?
I'm
No.
not going to do anything with it.
No, he'd call him every once in a while.
Really?
But he would never pick up.
Sure.
But his answer was like, "This is Terry. Leave me a message if you need it." Blah, blah, blah."
Fantastic.
And then you'd hear the sound of his shirt ripping off.
That's a good sound.
I don't believe that at all.
Which
What?
part? Which part? All of it?
Most of it.
The whole
yeah.
thing?
What I don't
No,
believe
I-
what he told you.
I will text Scott right now and say, "What's Hulk Hogan's number?" And he'll send it to me.
Okay.
But Hulk Hogan has probably changed his number thanks to Gawker. So, because this was like 4 years ago.
Let's do a podcast.
Sweet.
Nah.
Sounds good.
Nah, BJ didn't want to do it, so we're not doing it.
No,
Good.
but we outvoted him, so
Yeah, he
he
did.
has to.
No, it's banter time.
Okay,
We're just
no,
doing
let's do it then.
Bantercast.
We can banter during the show.
Bantercast.
Bantercast. All right.
This is where the part where we do the podcast.
All the recording things.
Oh yeah,
recording?
I forgot. I like
Oh, okay.
and
You got a what?
Yeah,
He's doing.
I had
magic
to do
tricks.
Jungle Book things like Baloo.
Baloo.
That's what I said.
All right.
I don't know why my magic sounds like the cartoon bear.
I don't either.
You're on that YouTube.
All right, let's do this. Should we get the timer? No timer. No timer. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
Hey, Bevcast.
Episode 287.
Wow.
That's a number.
Man, they're getting up there.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah, they
morning
are.
talk show guy. So I'm
You bet.
Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go ahead and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Come in here to the studio, talk about it for the first half. Then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They go 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Yay!
Hooray!
Hooray!
Huh, Robot Jocks.
But
I'm
you know
familiar
what?
with it.
The bad movies, negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags, as in douchebags, after Twilight. No.
Boo!
We don't like
Boo.
that movie.
Not our favorite.
No.
So, cat's out of the bag. We're doing 1990 movies. We're back.
Are we?
With another one.
Theme month.
Theme
Year.
Theme
Yes.
12 months.
1990s, the final sanction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For several reasons we'll get into after I do all of the happy, fun intro bits.
Okay.
Okay.
First, let's just do a plot summary and get right into it. After war breaks out between the U.S. and Russia, the two countries decide to settle the conflict by putting its two best warriors into an arena in a fight to the death.
This sounds familiar.
It sounds like a basis for a rating system, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
A little.
Just maybe without mechanized warriors.
Okay.
Yeah, this is basically Robot Jocks without robots. It's just
Yeah.
jocks.
Just like it.
Well, I mean, the idea, the notion of
the basic plot skeleton is the
the
same.
frame is the same.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also what Dragon Fight? We also-
Insane.
A little bit of Dragon Fight, although
Yeah.
Dragon Fight was private corporations paying each other to fight
Sure.
Yeah.
stuff. So they were doing stock deals.
But both this and Dragonfight star Robert Zadar,
Yep.
the late great Robert Zadar.
Yes, sir.
But the main reason we picked it is it's directed by David A. Pryor.
Yes. Who unfortunately passed away over the weekend.
Yeah. Which really sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Especially
But he-
with like new releases of his movies coming on Blu-ray.
There's like
in
3 of his
September.
movies coming out on Blu-ray in September.
Yeah.
He made Deadly Prey. He's done a bunch of movies that we've watched, and he made 5 movies in 1990.
Yeah.
Good job.
So he has fit right in with our theme year. And this is the 3rd that we've watched.
Yep.
So they've all been quite different,
Yeah.
varying degrees of quality.
Yeah. This is about as close as it gets as far as style goes to Deadly Prey. Because it's got same guy, his brother Ted Pryor.
Yes, Ted
who was
Pryor.
Mike Danton in Deadly Prey.
Right. He's Jimmy Titanic in this. What's his name?
Jimmy Banana Ninick.
Jimmy Titanic, that's his name. Tom Botanic.
The
Oh,
Tannic.
Botanic, yes.
Tom Botanic.
Like satanic, but with
yes.
But
a little bit
Bah.
extra letter in the
Botanic.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Botanica.
Right. Okay.
I suppose next you're going to just throw a number up on the screen.
And there it is.
So Ted Pryor's in it as Sergeant Tommy Titanic, and also we have
Thomas Titanic.
Thomas Titanic.
too.
Oh, the tank engine.
yeah
Oh, Tommy
Thomas
Titanic. Yeah.
Titanic engine, yes,
Drink your orange juice, Billy.
and also Robert Zadar is in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pronounce his name.
Star.
Sergei Skakov.
Wait, did you say jack
I'm
off?
sorry, that's not. I don't
Sergey
think that's right.
Serjakov.
Yeah,
Shvakov.
Yeah, Shvakov.
Shvakov.
yeah,
Yeah, there's actually another BMFcast alum. Well, there's 2 more BMFcast alums.
yeah.
There's Renee Klein, who was in Invasion Force,
Yeah.
another David A. Pryor movie.
Yep.
Right.
And there's also William Smith of like 50 BMFcast movies at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you will know him by being William Smith.
Yes, and you hire him because his voice is so gravelly. It doesn't matter what he says. Just pretend it's whatever language he's supposed to be speaking.
He plays a Russian general, and half of it I wasn't sure if he was speaking English or Russian.
I'm pretty
Because
sure
it
half
was
of it
so
yeah.
unintelligible either way.
I think half of it was pure nonsense.
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh yeah, I don't think there was any
Yeah.
kind of Russian consultant. It was just make Russian sounding noises.
Yeah.
Oh.
Buzzy boy.
Yeah.
They did have a couple of phrases that the Russian characters would repeat over and over again. So
Yeah, so we probably sat down for 5 minutes, like, let's come up with a fake Russian language.
right, much easier than learning a few phrases in actual
Sure.
Russian. You could just talk to a Russian somewhere.
They're always in a hurry.
But this is filmed in Alabama in 1990, so there probably weren't many Russians on staff
Nope.
hanging out.
But yeah, Robert Zadar is their Russian champion.
Yeah, he's Ivan Drago.
No, he's Sergei.
I know, Sergei
Jakov.
Jack off.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just like he's like.
Oh.
If you want to compare this to another movie,
Oh, so he's a simile.
Oh, so he's like
Okay.
Alexander.
could be also.
Somewhat.
Yes.
Oh, now I'm getting where you're going with this.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm picking
He
up
is-
what you're throwing
He has
down.
already killed Titanic in his mind.
I'm like iceberg.
Yes. Exactly.
Iceberg. Iceberg. Yeah. That's what they chant when he comes in. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
like the movie starts.
This movie drops us in the middle of nuclear war.
Yeah, it's like it's like a war game scenario where a dude. There are two dudes working in a.
Speaking of nuclear fucking war,
Jesus.
Christ.
Yeah.
Time out for another world.
Jesus.
That is thunder, right?
I hope.
I don't know. It's not Friday, so it's not a baseball game.
Does anyone know what a tornado sounds like?
It sounds like a train.
Sounds like a train, apparently.
That just sounds like.
I haven't gotten like a severe weather alert. But
Yeah.
Okay.
My app just says it's cloudy out.
Oh, thanks.
So we're okay.
Do you have dark skis?
Yeah, are you looking at dark ski?
No.
Oh.
Just the
You
regular
gotta,
ass
you gotta get
weather.
some dark ski.
Dark ski.
The
Dark
Blackie
skis.
weather forecast says we could die.
No.
That
It's
was
as in storms.
that was intense. Whatever that was.
That was.
That was yeah.
That was like shaking the house.
that went on for a while.
Woo.
So
Where the fuck were? Oh. Yeah, movie starts right in the middle of a apparent nuclear war, or as they say in the movie, nuclear.
yes, it's like war games is going.
Yeah,
on.
but there's two guys that work in. I guess they work in a missile silo. And they're the guys that sit there and push the button if need be.
Right.
And one guy tells a joke. It's the dumbest joke ever. But what's great, it's basically in a nutshell. Why did the major give an empty box to his wife? He said it was a stealth bomber jacket.
Get it?
Get it.
Stealth.
Yeah.
Bomber.
Get it.
It'd be invisible, you can't see it.
The other guy's like, it's a terrible fucking joke.
He just calls him out on it. That's what makes it great.
Yeah. And then nuclear war happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they launch
They get a phone call. Yeah.
They're looking at weather maps, and it's like, well, I don't know, point the thing at the thing, and then 5 minutes of stock footage of nukes going off and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, really old stock footage. I mean, like the footage you've seen a million times of the house being blown apart and then sucked back the other way. And
Yeah.
okay, so that goes on for a while. And then it's just like people in public and radio reports, and they're watching televisions in the department store of well, we wiped out the first strike capabilities of the Russians, and the Russians wiped out the first strike capabilities of us.
So now,
So the
how
logical
will we settle
next
our
step-
disputes?
there's like this boardroom of fancy people in
Oh,
suits
fancy
and and there's just someone walking around with a bowl, and they're all putting just folded up pieces of paper in the bowl, and one guy pulls out all the votes and it's just like, we have agreed to end the conflict, and everyone's like, hooray.
We've agreed to a solution.
Yeah,
something
okay,
like that,
fine. Yeah, we've come to a solution.
Maybe
And
a
everyone's like,
sanction.
yeah, but they don't say that. They probably should. We've come to a sanction. But they all celebrate, and it's like, okay, well, good. They've staved off war.
Kind of.
I'm glad. They've settled their differences. They won't nuke anybody else anymore.
Right. Cut to this weird, scary propaganda newscast that's being shown everywhere, like in schools, where they're like, millions have died, but it could be millions more. Where will they bomb next? It could be here. It could be here. It could be under your desk right now if you're in that school.
Yeah, it's, 1990 Fox News asking questions.
Yeah. And then just suggesting a bunch of things. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It could be right. It could happen right now.
Is your house going to explode?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll be right
film
back.
at 11.
So I don't know why we were watching that.
I don't know, but I mean, it sets up the the general paranoia of this time and place and all this things. That's happening.
Some world building going
Right.
on here.
Cut to do we see Zadar first, or I'm just going to call him Danton?
Danton is in prison.
Yeah. We see him first in
Yeah.
prison. Yeah, he's having a prison fight in Leavenworth, military prison.
As you do.
I don't know. Right off this movie, basically, it just establishes he's terrible at hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, he's not good.
He's not very good. Like, he'll throw some punches, but even a guy that's just wildly telegraphing his punches, he just can't even beat him. And then gets sucker punched at the end. Well, he's gloating over, or he's actually running around like going, "Who bet against me? Who bet against me?" And allows the guy he was fighting, who he did manage to, like, I think he jumped on the guy's back and just like
He punched him in the ear
Yeah.
6 or 7 times.
Until
And
he went
then,
down.
once he was woozy, punched him 3 times in the stomach, said, 1, 2, 3, you're out. And then knocked
headbutted him.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he's like, who's voting against me?
Who bet against me?
Yeah.
And then like the guy stands up behind him, and it's just you get this like kind of like turn around, like
Fist into
camera punch.
Yeah.
And then he's on a gurney being wielded and drugged, and then that's pretty much the end of they put the oxygen mask on him that they're gonna knock him out, and then we're done with him for a little bit.
Yeah.
Cut to Robert Zadar in Russia, who is yes, right. Well, the movie's Russia.
Okay.
In a very dark warehouse.
Yes.
Yeah, he's basically being recruited. Is he doing the shovel thing first?
Yeah, that's the targets are popping out. And
Yeah, he's doing like the walkthrough where you'd have targets pop up out, and you have to react and shoot them. But instead, he's throwing these weird mechanical shovels.
They're
like
entrenching tools.
Yeah.
Like they fold up. It's a
Yeah.
It's
the movie explains that Soviet soldiers are very good with these.
the movie made up of bullshit. I don't think there's anybody on the face of the planet that
Russians
fights
throw
with
shovels, man.
goddamn
That's just what they do.
trenching tools. I don't know, but he's just bullseyeing all these targets, and then William Smith comes in and comrade, just like gives him the spiel like, I'm glad you stayed in shape. It's the old he's
Way to throw those shovels.
Was that him under the car in the beginning? Was that Zadar with a beard?
No,
Or
that was just
random
no,
dude?
that was Danny.
That threw me off for a second. I was like, that's not Zadar.
That
is
was
it?
just a person in
Okay.
public listening to the news.
right. Yeah,
We
They
felt
they-
our emotions through Danny, the mechanic.
they lingered on too many things for so long, but it was he's coming back. He's going to save Mother Russia and all this, and by throwing shovels,
yes.
like you do.
Yeah. William Smith is very excited. He's in my
And
son.
then I don't know if
You're
it's
like-
right now or if it's later, but I'm just going to go. He goes through this training program thing. I think it cuts away for a minute, but it comes back, and guy has shown up, and it's another guy that like has no idea what accents sound like at all. Like I swear he actually went into like really bad stereotypical Mexican for a second, like the old style Speedy Gonzalez Mexican
A little bit, yeah.
and it was like
Peter
you
Lorre and
do know you're supposed to be Russian, right?
Yeah.
Like
See?
yeah. I mean, it was like,
I am very Russian.
fuck accent are you doing, guy?
Yeah. It
But
was- whatever.
Anyway, but like all this serves is that he's got the monitor things all over his face and everything, which is a lot of them. And
Hey now.
Come on.
yeah,
The man had a disease.
but they're inducing some sort of like Clockwork Orange style hypnosis thing on him, where he's in he has this whole vision where he's disappointing his commanding officer, William Smith guy, through various stages, and all he really wants him to do is shoot himself in the head. And he's like trying to talk him into it inside the dream, and that which of course is making him do it in real life. He's like, "Oh, you're not going to shoot yourself? Well, here, I'll bring in your father." And you shoot his father. You either shoot him or
Dad
shoot
is like, shoot yourself, son. You
Do
must
not
do
let him
it.
shoot me. Shoot you.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, well that didn't work. How about your mother?" And then like he's just about to crack. And it's again the mother that they wheel out. Like
She was just someone's mother on the crew.
Oh my god.
no,
she was like
son,
90.
please
Yeah,
don't.
she was like 90, and they like dug her out of Yonkers, not fucking Russia.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the hell is this?
Don't let him shoot
Yeah.
me, son. Please.
Don't shoot me.
I don't know.
Hurt
Yeah,
a
but
lot.
The two guys keep talking like, it's like no one's ever done level 10 before. And so whatever we're seeing is level 10 Russian soldier training, which basically is obey your superior and shoot yourself in the fucking head. Mm-hmm. And then you pass, but then you're dead. So we got
Yeah.
I mean, I don't... Whatever.
Yeah. And it makes no sense because the guy's like, wow, man, you gave him that gun, but you wouldn't put live rounds in there. And he's like, well...
Yeah.
He's our best hope, but if you didn't pass level 10, then,
Yeah,
not worth it.
He just barks an order at him, and Zadar just fires every bullet in the gun, and they both look at each other like,
Yeah.
that gun was totally loaded.
It's a weird game of Russian roulette we're playing right now.
But so Danton has woken up in
Yeah, Denton Botanic.
The botanical garden.
Yeah, he's woken up in some room, and there's a person talking to him, sort of, just like, hey. And he's like, what? And then eventually, this Holly Hunter lady is just chatting him up, and he's like, where are you?
Yeah.
I'm in your head.
I'm in your head. Mike Danton. I'm in your head.
We put a chip in your head, and I can talk to you.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, he's got a scar on his chest. I can't figure out if they went in through his chest to put the thing in his head.
Yes.
knows?
There's a battery pack.
Because okay, so that's the power source.
Yeah. Yeah.
They never explained what that was.
It was
The tracker?
surgical stuff.
Oh, they had to. Okay,
they
just
had to surgery
put.
him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They put some stuff. in it.
Obviously. Yeah.
Maybe that's what zaps him. Because when he's doing something she doesn't like, she
Yeah.
can
But
zap.
doesn't he reach for his head?
He does.
Well, the sound is in his head. Because
Yeah,
the
well,
sound
okay. So, yeah, he's like, whatever, lady, get out of here. I've been court-martialed. I don't even work for the army anymore. Get the fuck out of here. I'm done. I'm leaving.
Right.
And she can basically summon a 1990 Inception noise.
Yes.
It's just it's actually kind of like a mild musical stinger. It's just like a din-din.
Yeah.
And then and he's like, oh, pain.
Well, she initially describes it as behavior modification, like it's supposed to actually flip his mood to do something else, but it only just mildly pisses him off. And they only do it like 2 more times before she just realizes it's not going to do any good. I'm just never going to do it.
Well,
again.
yeah. Well, he flat out tells her. He's like, listen, I'll do this if you get me a presidential pardon. She's like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Yeah. He totally 24s it. He asks for
Yeah.
a presidential she
And
just
gets it. Like, next
Oh, yeah.
scene.
Yeah, but he says, you can keep zapping me all you want.
I ain't doing shit till you get me a presidential pardon.
Yeah.
She's like, all right.
Yeah.
And then
Things have changed. We got us a child now.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
man. So many Raising Arizona jokes.
Yeah, I know. But no,
Yeah,
yeah,
so,
like
he
like
gets
next,
it.
Yeah, next scene, it's like he's sitting in a room, or I think he's eating.
He's in the cafeteria.
He's eating chow, if you want to get all proper. But and guy walks in, and it's just like, oh, it's you, great, awesome. And he's like, yeah, well, here's your presidential pardon, but guess what? I'm your commanding officer, and if you fuck up, I'm taking your spot. Which is
Yeah.
a weird way to do this. Bring in somebody from this guy's past. I mean, there's a whole weird side. Well, I guess it's kind of it's a side plot the way they treat it, but there's a weird conspiracy thing going on here that they never fucking explained why. It's just
Something happened in Pakistan.
something happened somewhere, and the people involved in this also were involved in fucking him over, which is like, really, this is the guy you want to...
It's what he was being court-martialed for.
You want to bring him in to possibly expose this? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the classic dumb bad guy thing of like, let's set ourselves up to fail.
Yeah.
the one guy who can
Right.
unfold our scheme
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
guy we team.
Yeah,
we-
he's our linchpin to this
brought
whole
back
thing.
out.
Yeah.
But stupid.
That's a weird logic
Yeah.
problem in a movie where two countries who just
Hey,
nuked each other
I-
have just decided to have a fighting tournament.
I have no problem with that. This is the low budget version of Rocky IV. Mike Danton went in there and beat communism with his fists.
But
Did he?
No.
that's not.
Did he?
We will get there, but that's not what happens at all. Oh, okay.
I'm saying, on paper, that's what this movie is. It's
All right.
enough with the nukes. We realize that we're just going to blow the whole world up. Let's have a match.
So let's just have two dudes fight each other.
yeah. Chuck, why is this a hard concept?
I'm sorry. I
mean, war is just a giant pissing match anyway. Let's just take it smaller.
Yeah, but war's about land and
It's
resources.
It's a pissing all over giant tracts of land. That's all it is.
Huge tracks.
Yeah, huge tracts of land.
Okay, fair enough.
Keep them in the closet there, R. Kelly.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
While this is going on, there's also a senator involved who's like,
What's all this?
well,
then?
like his secretary's like, yeah, they got him a presidential pardon. He's like, say what?
Who and why?
Yeah, because he'd been talking to the general. And the general's like, don't worry about it. Danton's our best guy.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this happen. And he's like, are you sure?
Well, the senator sort of seems to be unaware of the whole tournament thing. He's like, wait, there's a guy? He's going to fight another guy? And they're, what?
I think fate of both of our countries rests on this guy.
I don't know about that. Find me all the information on Mike Danton, please, because this doesn't make any sense. But his whole thing is basically like, find me the tie between him and the general. We must figure out what's going on here. Why'd he pick that guy?
Right.
Which I don't know why that's your priority.
I mean,
It's like,
we could skip through the rest of their storyline because, like, there's a scene where they're arguing with them on the phone later about, like, we have information now. I can't believe you're using a guy that's court-martialed. And then there's just a shot where it cuts back to the general's office, and he's got a Watergate-style reel-to-reel recorder recording everything.
Yeah.
And he's just listening to he's actually listening to their office. They weren't even on the phone. I'm sorry.
No, he just bugged their office.
He bugged their office, and he was just listening to it.
Yeah.
So there's that going on. And then basically, Senator. Oh no, there's one more scene a little bit later. I forget the order of some of the second act stuff, so I'm just gonna like carry through.
Go right ahead.
At some point, he's like, they get a little bit more information, and he sends his secretary lady out to go to get something else. But oh no, I left my car at home. It's in the shop. Here, take mine. And of course, long ass fucking shot of her walking through this car.
Yep.
Long shot. Walks out to this Lincoln and in this parking lot that's full of like
It's an old ass Mercury.
Oh, it's a Mercury, sorry. And but it's in this parking lot with all those like shit cars, and it's like, this is a senator's office, like, and of course she gets,
and that's the senator's car.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
borrowed his keys.
Yeah.
To
Dope
drive,
ass
like,
Mercury.
Dope ass 1976 Mercury.
it's kind of hooptified. So I mean,
Yep.
anyway, like of course she gets in the car and it blows the fuck up.
Yeah.
So like secretary but like, we're done with the senator until like the end of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like
None of this matters.
That was the trail of them investigating, and then
None
it's like,
of it matters.
We're done with that.
Yeah.
Get back to more prepping for this battle. I mean, there's not much. I mean, I carried through what Sergei was doing.
They gear up.
Well, yeah. Well, he does his like weird flashback Clockwork Orange thing. Danton's talked with the guy and he's asked for a very specific
Loadout.
loadout, because like the whole thing is like they're allowed to go into battle with 75 pounds worth of gear, everything, weapons and everything, and we've prepared these very specific things. He's like, no, I want this, and this, and
a roll of quarters.
and a roll of quarters, and I'm not going to tell you why.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I have to get it approved. He's like, well, fucking do it. I mean, that's the kind of the great thing about this movie is it's like every time somebody starts to get like, he's just like, fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up and do it.
Yeah, he doesn't have time for anybody's bullshit.
Yeah. But it's so weird how this movie doesn't treat any of this like it's in any way important. Like, if this guy is going to be the savior of America and win fucking World War III, everyone's just like, fuck you, you're going to do what we say. And he's like,
Right.
I can win the war this way. And they're like, nah, you're an idiot.
Well, yeah, because they're going to assign him all the weapons he's going to use. And
Right.
what he's going to do. And he's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
No.
But,
I'm the
like-
guy out there.
Yeah, but like the weird thing about this is that there's like an underlying level of shady bullshit that has nothing to do with the most important thing on the planet.
Yes.
That's more important to like the three people running some sort of criminal underground.
Also, I find it strange that like somehow like this general guy had the president or whomever the diplomats in that room were on the hook or whatever. Like he was like the guy that was like knew he was going to get called to do all this.
Yeah.
Like this guy had some kind of master plan that involved starting nuclear war and then getting picked to pick the guy that was going to fight to not stop the nuclear war. It's like,
Right.
That's a strange.
Yeah.
That's a.
And then when you think about
I'm saying that's
Illuminati, man.
That's a Bond villain kind of move, not
Yeah.
this fucking dopey ass general that was there.
start a nuclear war, convince everyone to have a fighting tournament to settle it, and then pick the guy because you want to bump him off
Right.
because of some bullshit.
Which honestly, like the plot. Okay, so we find out somewhere along the way that the plot that landed him landed him court-martialed and in jail is that he was accused of trying to kill the Secretary of State, I believe.
Yeah, his unit was
Yeah.
that was their target, though they didn't know that was their target until they saw the target.
Right. The U.S. Secretary of State, let me mind
Yes.
you. Now, that's what I'm saying. That sounds like it sounds like some kind of fucking weird circular logic thing, like Terminator. Like, that sounds like they were setting this up. Because why else would anyone order someone to kill the U.S. Secretary of State except to set this up? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like,
Yes.
the beginning of this movie invalidates in the end, and then vice versa, kind
Yeah.
of.
But
All
you
right.
know what? If I was involved in whatever scheme this was, here's what I would do. I'd go get Danton, I'd put him on the operating table, I'd fucking kill him on the operating table, and then go get the next guy who's the best fighter
Well, they
and
already
have
had the
him
next- they already
save
had
The
the
guy they
America.
were gonna have go.
Yeah.
Oh, so he just magically lived in the operating room?
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying they already had the second guy there. He was the guy that was giving him shit, and also
Yeah.
the presidential pardon.
He's fucking dumb.
Anyway, all right, you can't get over the most basic of concept. I'm the one having a problem
Yeah.
with the the minutia here, like actually following this plot all the way out. Anyway,
have a problem with all of it.
all right. Anyway, they're done. Like they do
You
a
just gotta roll with it.
they do a gearing up montage, and it's pretty fucking great.
Yeah,
it's
it's really
Zadar gearing up, knives.
There are some awesome pans
Yeah.
up to Zadar's face.
I mean, he's shotgun round bandolier dual style, putting a Russian flag bandana on his head,
Rambo style.
and like they fit. The good thing is like they finish everything, and like all of his stuff is like it's all very professional, badass looking. And then it's like the very first shot of Danton is like him put on like a cut off sleeve army jacket that has an Ozzy Osbourne patch on it.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's
and like electrical
he's a-
tape and something
he's a
to do with
bad
his
boy.
gun.
Yeah. Wrap some string around
Oh,
his leg.
he strapped his compass to the side of the gun. That's what that was.
Yeah, he aliens him some stuff on that gun.
Yeah.
He has some knives, and you see him pack the roller quarters, and you're like, okay, well, they're really going to come in.
Roll quarters. Yes. So they're geared up and they're ready to go do battle.
Yeah. And then they're out in the field.
They drop them in this field. And
Virginia.
In Virginia.
They've
In Virginia.
decided that the fate of the world will be fought for
In Virginia.
in the woods of Virginia.
Yeah, because doesn't it say like 0800 combat zone?
Yeah.
Look,
Virginia.
I know for a fact the United States has at least several islands that we could take over and use for a purpose like this. Russia's got to have at least some. I'm saying, like, throw these two people on a deserted island and let them fight the fuck out.
Put them on iceberg in the middle of Pacific Ocean.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Between
mean,
Alaska and Russia.
we'll put them on the iceberg.
Put him on the iceberg, man.
Yeah.
Mama don't like
Calm
it.
down, General.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
yeah.
but like they're in this field and they're 300, 400 yards away from each other. Now, they've gone to explain that, like, because they've wired up his head to be, to let Holly Hunter talk to him, they can also track him, but that they're going to track Sergei via heat sensors that they're going to bury in the ground, and that Russia probably has the same thing. So you're probably both going to kind of know where each other are at all points in time,
Yeah.
which is like, that just takes all the mystery out of this.
It does. Yet you can put the mystery right back in it when you have a tactical officer who doesn't bother telling you shit.
Oh yeah, there is that.
She is just constantly not telling him anything.
Sure.
And then when something happens, she's like, "What's happening?
Yeah.
What? Clearly she can hear like explosions and gunfire. She's like, "Hey,
Hey.
what's going on? Are you okay?"
Yeah, but like they start off and like their very first move is walk towards each other. To which she's like, "Oh, he's walking right towards you, 300 yards,
Yep.
250, 200."
And he's busy trying to set up some kind of trap.
Well, he
And
waits.
she's
He,
like-
he waits till like 100 yards out though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, he's 50 yards away and he's closing in on you.
Uh-huh. Here he comes.
Yeah, and it's like 50 yards. That's not far.
It's like right there. I should be
Yeah.
able to see him.
And you both have guns.
And he's huge. I mean, he's not stealthy. I mean, he's a big man. But yeah, so they shoot each other for a while, at each other.
Well, first Zadar throws one of his shovels
Yeah,
Right,
cuts his
yeah.
arm
and cuts Danton's arm.
because he still managed to sneak up on him,
Yeah.
at least enough to chuck a shovel.
Yeah.
And then they exchange some gunfire for a while, and then Zadar vanishes.
Literally.
Yeah.
Dan is looking
like
right
he does.
at him. I mean, staring at him. Like, because he's fired a couple of grenades at him
Yeah.
and, knocked him down at one point, and he's staring right at him. while what's her face is talking to him in his head.
Well, yeah. Well, she's hearing the gunfire. Like, hey, what's happening?
Hey, you okay?
Oh, I think the blatant one of that was later in the movie. The one where it's like he had him on the ground at gunpoint and he disappeared in front of him.
I think that happens 2 or 3 times.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
The really blatant one was towards the end of the movie where it's just like, how did he get away? He was like gun trained on him.
Yeah. Well, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's another point where he literally gets the drop on him because they do the whole like, he's right there. Why can't you see him? He's right on top of you. Look up, you know. And
Oh,
he does, and just Zadar out of a tree, you know.
Yeah.
I'm your worst nightmare, Butthorn. Yeah, and knocks him down, and then they just stare at each other for a while. And of course it's right over the booby trap that Danton has set. So he's watching. He's like,
well, he's like trying to back up. He's trying to do the I'm here, kill me.
Come at me, I'm here. And Zadar's just like, I see your stupid thing. I'm just gonna step over it. And Danton's like, fuck, I'll just throw a stick at it.
Yep, and it works.
Chucks a stick at it. Boom, you know, Zadar goes flying. And I think that's
when he disappears because he blows back and he's like, well, I got him. And he's like, no, he's moving. It's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's gone. And she's like, yeah, he's in sector 12 now or whatever.
Yeah. So I think they break up and like have some time alone or whatever.
They do that a lot.
Well, it's nighttime, the next scene. And
Yeah,
he's in a bunker.
There's these weird little bunker cabin things they have out there.
The rest of the movie takes place in these little bunkers.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
just in there.
But
and
since then, he's been bantering back and forth
Yeah.
with
he's hitting
Holly
on her.
Hunter. Yeah, kind of.
yep.
Yeah.
Give me some motivation here. Let me take you to dinner if I win
And he
World
keeps
War
calling her.
III.
And he keeps calling her Dragon Lady.
Yeah.
She's like, well, first off, you can stop calling me Dragon Lady,
Dr. Lecter.
Dr. Danton.
And yeah, so eventually she's like, tell me the story about your
Yeah.
court martial. And that's when he tells the whole story. Like, yeah, dude, guys were going to kill the Secretary of State, and I wasn't going to have that shit. So,
And got a bullet in the back of my. Or he says he woke up in a hospital with a bullet in the back of his head.
yes, doesn't know who shot him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see laser sight,
Mm-hmm.
and then missed gunshots, and
Yeah.
they just
fire at each other
Shoot each
from
other a bunch.
20 yards away and miss a bunch.
And then Zadar pulls out a rocket
oh Jesus.
and is like, all right, let's do this. And fires the rocket in. And I love that they cut to the computer screen of drawing the line of the rocket going from where Zadar is.
And her
Across
going,
this grid.
there's a rocket incoming.
It's like a fucking no.
They put a lot of $30 into the computer graphics.
the finale is the best part of the
Well,
rest, but
yeah.
yeah, so rocket goes off, and I think again they just take a break from each other.
Yeah,
They're just
he dives out the window and
Yeah. Right.
the building blows up behind him.
yeah, good stunt.
But then they're just like, all right.
How do they come back together into the bigger building? Like, I don't remember what
There's more like shooting across from
Okay.
other buildings, and Danton goes inside the building because he's been hit,
right.
Yeah.
and he's sort of crawling through there.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right. He took a shot in
gets
the leg.
Zadar. Well, and he gets
Oh,
Zadar in the shoulder.
yeah,
Because Zadar, that's why Zadar stops, is to shove,
Right,
I
right.
guess, gum or plastique
Whatever
or something
putty
in
he has,
the wound.
but he just jabs putty in his
Yeah.
arm, and it stops bleeding.
Makes lots of face.
yes.
Faces.
Man, just shaking Zadar face. It's like, okay, he's in pain. That's what I'm picking up on.
No.
But yeah, so Danton is inside this place. He's been shot, and he sees like a little hole opening in the wall, like a far wall. And he's like, I'm gonna go over there. But you see him tinkering with something for a while before he goes and does that. Goes and does that. Zadar comes in again. They do the ridiculous pan from his boots up to his face, and he's looking down at the ground, and Danton has made a smiley face out of the stack of quarters that he has.
Yep.
He says, "Have a nice day."
And then he, have a nice day, motherfucker.
Yes.
And blows up the plastique that's underneath them somehow.
And the whole building just
Oh, yeah.
goes.
Building erupts.
Yeah. And he just walks outside, leans up against a wall with a giant window next to it, and is just like, all right, let's go to dinner, Holly Hunter.
Yeah.
I killed him.
Yeah.
He's good and dead. And she's like, oh, no, by the way, he's right there.
Yeah.
Again,
He's
the
not in the
worst
building.
tactical officer ever. Just like, oh, no, you're wrong. Oh, no.
Surprise. He ain't dead.
don't you know he's right there? So it's
Yeah, and when they show Zadar again, he's like, "Well, son of a bitch," and he's trying to get away. And they showed Zadar again, and now he's Aaron Eckhart in freaking Dark Knight.
Yeah.
They've just
Half his
charred
face.
up half his face.
Yep.
Oh, but it's so half-assed. It's like
It is half.
yes.
half-assed faced. Yeah, it's like they took a yeah. Pause for the laugh track there.
Yeah.
But it's like they just slathered on a bunch of purple paint and
There's
like
a little bit of blistering.
there's
A little.
but only like down at the bottom of the neck area.
yeah.
They ran out of makeup, dude.
Yeah, seriously. Like in Alabama.
It's like he fell asleep on his side in under a sun lamp of some kind.
Whatever. He's
Either way,
half burnt.
Yeah.
he got half burnt.
Yeah. How do you get half
And
burnt?
then the Russian general is like, well, actually, William Smith is like, Robert Zadar, what's happening? Are you all right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I fight for me now, not you.
Yeah, he rips off the headset like, I fight for me.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's like,
Yeah.
he's gone rogue.
Yeah.
Where he still wants to kill Mike Danton.
Yeah, but he just
But
wants to do it.
He wants to do it on his own terms.
Right, yeah.
He's there for the right reasons now.
Yeah.
Well,
No more of this-
he basically wants to. Well, he grabs a shotgun and like he decides it's time for hand-to-hand combat. Done with all this shit.
This is like the next 6 times each of them has
Well,
to drop on each other with a gun.
But what happens he decides he's coming after Danton.
Mm-hmm.
However, Danton's sneaking around going, with her in his ear going, all right, where is he? He's got to be somewhere. And they're like, well, there's a heat signature there. And then bam, he gets knocked out as he's looking around
yes.
the corner.
Yes. But it's not Zadar.
Nope.
It's the second choice to be the savior of America.
Yeah,
it was
the asshole
miscongeniality
second
of the World War III.
Exactly. And he's like, hey, I'm the one who shot you during that whatever the fuck it was in Pakistan.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Time to finish the job.
Yeah. As slowly as possible. I'm going to shoot you now. Take the safety off.
Yeah.
Load gun.
And they take the time to show like the close up of him flipping the safety.
Yeah.
To which Zadar says, you shouldn't take so long.
Yes.
And shovels him in the back.
Can you dig this?
Yeah. He doesn't say that. but
No, he
should
doesn't.
have.
He should have.
Yeah. And then, it's like, come on, man, you and me. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah, well, Danton's like scrambling away, and then
Yeah.
he's like, Zadar throws down the gun. He's like, let's fight.
Yeah.
Time to fight.
All right.
Yeah. And this is
I
like
do
building
like
up.
Danton's attitude throughout, too.
Well, I mean, they're building this up with like the Star Trek like dance around,
Yep.
like, oh, this is going to be a big thing. And it's like, your movie has already established he sucks at hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
This is probably not going to end well for him.
No.
And it really kind of doesn't.
No.
He kind of gets his ass beat a lot.
He immediately goes for his finishing move of punch 3 times and then say you're out. But Zadar's having none of that.
He actually goes, I don't play baseball.
yeah, and picks him up by the face.
yeah. Just gets him hands on the temples
Yeah.
and
Yep.
just lifts him up off the ground by his head.
Yeah, and throws him.
And then he throws him, and then like I think he gets a gun, and he's like, "Oh, all's fair in love and war." It's like, "I'm going to shoot you," and Zadar just like puts on like sad face, like, "What? I like to fight."
Yeah.
And he's like,
We fight now.
"Oh, damn it! All right." Puts the gun down, and it's like, "We fight more now."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we totally do.
God, I love his attitude throughout that because
Yeah.
he's just like, this is so fucking stupid, but
Yep.
I'm doing it anyway.
Yep. And this is the best because he's got the gun trained on him and is just like, yeah, all right, let's just do more hand-to-hand combat. And then just like, okay. And then immediately just runs over and kicks him in the balls.
Yep.
Kicks Zadar right in the balls.
And he just kind of looks at him like, "Really?"
you hit me in the balls? Fuck you.
Yeah.
And you could see it like trembling, just making a fist, like I'm gonna fucking turn all of this pain into rage and punch through your head.
Which he does.
Which he kind of does.
Yeah. Knocks Danton out. Danton, like, he does the punch where Danton spins around 180 and then...
Gives that like,
Yeah.
"Duh,"
yeah,
look
he
to the
should have the
camera.
little birds tweeting, around his head.
Well, he got the what's his name at the end of Die Hard? The reporter dude that got this from
Yes.
from
Yeah.
Ollie McLean.
Yeah. And
Like right at the camera.
yeah, goes down, and then they're on Zadar, and you can see Zadar like, fuck, I get hit in the balls.
Yeah, he grabs his balls and then collapses.
And he goes down. And they're both down.
Yeah. Now, I think it was earlier in the scene. I don't think it was when they get up again, but like one of the times when they stop and like, you think everyone's down and they're done. He goes like, that's where he says the line. He's like, what are they feeding you?
Yeah.
And he's like, Americans.
And he's like,
that was a good line.
Is
All
that
right.
when he tries to punch Zadar? Zadar grabs his hand and does the I'm squeezing your hand thing, and Danton's like, ah! And then Zadar takes his hand and makes him punch himself in the face.
Yes, he does.
yep.
Quit hitting yourself.
Yeah. And then Dan gets up holding his head like, what the hell?
Yeah.
My face hurts. My hand hurts. That's not cool,
I
man.
think that's when he pulls the gun on him.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck this.
Yeah. He's just like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And there's like, all right.
But
well,
yeah,
let's
they
just keep
both collapse,
Yes.
and this is the point where the general back in the control room with Holly Hunter,
Right.
who in the meantime has like gone and snuck into his office at some point
She
and
did,
had
yeah.
like some underling watch the controls.
Who didn't watch
But-
the controls at all.
Yeah, but she comes back and he's just like, all right, you're relieved of command.
Yeah, she credit card snuck into his office and
Yeah.
saw the real and stole the real too.
Right.
We find out later, but and I guess called the senator because again,
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, she's relieved of dealing with any of the stuff.
Right.
And that's when he's
Your
like,
expertise is no longer required.
yeah. And the other guy takes over and he's like, all right, activate whatever.
Omega
And this is, and
Self-destruct.
Danton and Zadar have woken up and they're like, man, that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like we're good, right?
well, Zadar's like, we fight more, and he's like, no, fuck the war, let them figure it out. They started it.
yeah, he's like,
This
we
is
can
dumb.
live. We
Yeah.
can both live.
Well, let's go live. But Danton looks up and sees like explosives strapped to everything. And he's like,
And he sees the light blinking and he goes, oh, you're fucking kidding me.
yeah. And so the whole, like, all of these husks of, buildings just explode.
Yep.
And the best part, I mean, they're good explosions, don't get me wrong, but the best part about it is the 5x5 grid that's on the computer has little fireworks explosions going diagonally through everything on the grid.
Yeah, it's kind of like the ending pattern of Minesweeper. Like,
Yeah,
it's like, you just won.
Yes. So
If
the
you've
guys,
never seen that.
yeah, the guys just sitting there watching it, just like, all right, we blew everything up, fantastic, stalemate.
Yep.
Or I guess.
And then General Guy is out on the field, walks out there, is like, yep, look at all this shit we blew up.
Yep.
And then William Smith, Russian dude, walks up too, and they're basically like, this was a good plan, yeah. I think you'll come up with a very good plan. He's like, well, thank you.
great plan.
Yeah.
You always have the best plans.
And then, like, they come out of stumbling, of course, out of the ashes, like, yeah, good plan, except for we're not dead.
Yeah. Great plan.
Yeah. And then it's just like, I don't know, the clown car of Deus Ex Machina, because they come out and it's like, yeah, we're not dead. And it's like the senator shows up and it's like, well, I'm not dead either, but you're going to pay for blowing up my secretary. And look, I've got 2 FBI guys. And
And the general's like, you got no proof. And he's like, I've got this.
I've got proof
Real
in
to
my
real
coat.
tape.
Yeah.
And the general's like, fuck. Meanwhile, like, Dan's like, yeah, fuck all of you. And then, so
Yeah, Zadar's like, maybe we should fight General.
yeah. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Yeah, no,
You
let's
do
not be
that,
too
and
hasty.
it's another court martial for you, And William Smith is just talking to him, just like, you were like, son, why you do this? And Zadar just walks away.
Yeah.
And William Smith is just left there to be like, what?
Yeah.
Who will come to arrest me? I probably should not be here.
Guys, do I just stand here?
I need to call an Uber. I need a ride home.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. And then it's just cut to another building that they're all coming out of.
it's like the Southern Plantation
it's weird.
with giant steps that they come down like,
Giant columns.
yeah.
I bet it's her house.
It
It
might
probably
be.
is her house.
Well, she's waiting
At least her
outside.
dad's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they come down.
She's got a mint jewel.
I think it's supposed to be a government building or something.
Fine.
Maybe a hospital, I don't
Maybe,
know.
but like
But
Zadar is cured.
Yeah, Zadar and Danton basically come out of this building, and Zadar's dressed fucking Miami Vice style now. She's standing there, and she's like, well, I'm not going to let you buy me dinner because you didn't really win. You tied. And he's like, oh, okay. But I'll buy you dinner. Oh, okay. All right,
right.
sweet. Yeah, let's go. And
we
then
got to get a friend for
from-
Zadar here.
Yeah, what do you like? Blondes, redhead? He's like, you like all
women.
And then they walked right towards the camera and freeze frame. Yeah.
God, I wanted them just solving crimes in Miami, just on a speedboat chasing drug smugglers.
That's the final sanction.
Oh, okay. Final Sanction Part 2.
Yeah.
Final
You thought it
order.
was final, but it's not final at all.
One more sanction.
Sanction harder.
Seriously, the last sanction.
Yeah. We really mean it this time.
The finalist.
Finaler sanction.
Yeah. Thus ends the final sanction, and I guess World War III has been solved?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Before we rate it, let's go ahead. We didn't really even say why. I mean, you probably, if you've been following us on Twitter or whatever, you probably know why we decided to watch this movie. But
Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning.
did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I miss that? I just zoned the fuck out.
Yeah, we talked about it. We totally did.
That's all gone.
So I guess we rate it.
Yes.
Sure.
Do we have to?
Yes.
We totally do.
Well, then let's not let it linger.
You were just waiting on that one, weren't you? No Stargrove, but the second half of the end credits has a kind of dope song.
No.
Never
No,
really,
no, it's
really
oh,
doesn't.
whatever, you guys.
That has.
It's Chuck
no.
Dope.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Chuck Dope.
Which is kind of dope-y.
MC Chuck Dope here.
Yes.
No, you're supposed to say, "My name is MC Chuck Dope,
And I'm here
and
to
I'm here to say."
Okay.
the song at the end of
Every
the
single white
credits.
guy starts off his rap this way.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh.
Song at the end of the credits will get lots of play.
But when you say play, we all have to shout at the same time.
Play.
Play.
Boy, we fucked that up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there goes our career.
Actual.
no Stargrove.
Nope.
No. But it's Chuck Dope.
Yeah. I'm going to say 2 jocks.
Oh.
Okay.
2 jocks. I mean, there's Zadar. I don't think I'll ever stop appreciating Robert Zadar in movies because he embraces like the whole like I am super serious despite whatever fucking ridiculous thing is going on around me, and I absolutely love that about him. And he seems to bring it every single time. It never feels like Zadar is like, no, fuck this, man. He's always all in on all of these things, and that's great. I love Ted Pryor in this movie too. Like he's not really the same guy as Mike Danton in Deadly Prey. I mean, he's way more sarcastic in this one, and just like pissed off at things. But he gets all the best lines, and aside from the Americans one,
Right.
that Zadar gets, but there's just not enough of the fun fighting stuff. It's really only kept to like 2 scenes near the end of it.
Yeah.
And it's not executed nearly as well as the stuff in like Deadly Prey where, he's beating a man to death with his own arm that he's just severed, There's not shit like that in it, that pushes it way up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to say 2. It's fun, but it's not his best. But it's better than White Fury, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, it's all. This is so much more competent than White Fury. White
Yeah.
Fury seemed like amateurish compared to this. It's strange.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 5 jocks. I'm not going to rate the movie 5 jocks. I just want
You
to
just
say
want to
5
say it?
jocks.
Okay,
Okay.
that's cool.
No, that's why I started this rating. I want to say 2 jocks. No, I'm gonna echo the 2 jocks sentiment. I was hovering around a 1 because, there's a lot of things that make me almost not want to recommend it, but I think it's a step higher than that, kind of just barely recommend thing that we sometimes hover on. Mostly, yeah, because of the performance of the people, just being committed to. I mean, you could tell at this point there was very little budget in this movie. I mean, if you watch the credits, they were just borrowing, stealing places to film this thing.
Yeah.
There's a
They
thousand
thanked
thank you.
everyone
Yeah.
in Mobile.
Right.
If you had a building,
Yeah.
they thank
So,
for
I
Or
mean,
a business.
Yes.
For that, still breaking it down to the idea of you getting your friends together and having the motivation and enough funds to actually go out for a few weekends and make a fucking movie. This
Is that
still
what happened?
Well, that's what these movies feel like. They just feel like I got my brother, we got this guy, and we went out to this place and we kind of make this movie for nothing. and he just did it for years. And I mean, and to me, like, this is such a much better example of that than White Fury was. I mean, even what the hell was the film crew one called again? Invasion Force. Like that. I mean, like that and this and Deadly Prey are like what you want out of this guy's filmography.
Yeah.
Like White Fury is just like this weird anomaly from what we've seen. And I don't know. Like I said, it's not as good as Deadly Prey. It's probably maybe not even as stupidly fun as like Invasion Force at times, just because that had a bigger cast with like more people to say more dumb things.
And there was some. I'd have to say there's a lot more personality in Invasion Force.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I mean, there's pretty good explosions. There's pretty good, one-liners and reactions to things throughout this. That it's just going to go that slight notch. I mean, it's a low 2, but it's a 2. So
yeah,
2 jocks.
As I said earlier, this movie is fucking dumb, like just dumb. No one's questioning anything about. Oh, we're going to have a fighting tournament to solve World War III. Mm-hmm. No one's questioning it, and no one's considering making it a big deal. Like, you would think there would be a bunch of people in the control room hanging out, you're like watching, the results of World War III being played out in Virginia. There's none of that. And, yeah, the whole thing boils down to some bullshit cover-up that doesn't make any sense, and why the plan is to kill both. It's all so dumb. And, like, the first half of this movie is nothing but talking about what's going to happen. It's like its own hype man. It's just, things are going to happen, and we're not really going to show you cool things, but just understand that this could be interesting. Maybe. We'll see what happens. And then, like, a couple cool things happen, but not really. But, like, the attitudes are entertaining. The cast is entertaining. It doesn't have as much personality as Invasion Force does, but like you said, only because that movie had a bigger cast and more things to do. So I did like this ultimately, even though it's stupid. I agree with the 2 jocks rating. Man, though, it just, if you were studying like film theory of point A to point B to point C in a screenplay, this ain't it.
No.
So, yeah.
I'm a little bit less thrilled with this. I would give it a 0 if I could, but I have to pick one side or the other, so I'm giving it a jocks for its Robert Zdarsky.
It's Zdarshan.
Yeah, Zdarness. I don't know. There's just with the like even. How do I even get started on this?
With words.
Yes, thank you. There's a lot that isn't necessarily bad. It's just bland for me. And even though I do really like and appreciate Robert Z'Dar, and I think he's fine in this, it's just not. There's not a whole lot of personality, I feel, in this particular movie. Like, with the exception of some of Ted Pryor's lines, it's just like, and the couple early on, it's just kind of a things happen in semi-random sequences, and then they have a fight at the end. And I don't know. I can appreciate the somewhat guerrilla movie making aspect, but it still feels like a mess, even though you know that there's zero budget and it's almost just friends and family. It's still just a bit of a mess, and it's not something that I'd probably watch the first 30 minutes and then go do something else had I a different option.
Yeah.
So it's just one jocks for me. And that's just Z'Dar's own personal jocks. And it sucks that almost a direct, not almost a direct ripoff, but a movie that follows, a similar plot idea from one of the greatest movies of all time, it could only manage to be 1/5 as good.
Yeah. Well, that movie had robots.
It did. It did.
Robots go a long way.
Yeah.
And if you take the robots out of any situation where there could be robots, it's not going to bode well for you. It's just,
You know that old saying.
Yeah,
that old saying,
it's,
yeah.
You know
Chestnut.
what they say.
there must be robots.
Yep. All right. Well, how about we get to break time so we can get to the second half?
All right.
Yeah, that sounds like
Let's do it.
Okay.
a good through line to take.
Well, one leads to the other.
Uh-huh.
Where are you going? You can't leave, Chuck.
I'm leaving.
Bye. Wow. Chuck never leaves.
Oh, Bill Fichtner's on Twitter now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He-
I'm just letting people know that Bill Fichtner
do
is
not
on Twitter.
Tweet at him.
I think it's Bill_Fichtner. That news comes to us courtesy of Greencapped.
Yes, Dave Pagoda is alive.
It's courtesy of Greencapped.
Not like I'm
I guess everyone left.
watching Melee.
I would get more water, but everyone left, and I don't want to leave you guys alone. I want to talk to you. How's it going, Internet? How you liking that 1990 idea? I like it. It's worked out well thus far. Because we've definitely had more jocks than Bags movies so far this year. Like, what Bags movies have we had? We had Hardware.
It's funny, all the Bags movies have been like real movies.
Yeah.
Loose Cannons.
Oh, yeah, and freaking Fort Fairlane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like real theatrical movies. Hardware, Loose Cannons.
Yeah, and I can't really think of any others that we were like, fuck this.
I mean, they've been, they've all most of them have been this sort of mild recommendation of, yeah.
And then there's sprinkles of awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like super awesome.
Yeah. You take a look here real
Yeah.
quick.
And it's not the golden age of cinema, it's the golden age of movies.
Right. There's a difference.
There is a
a
difference.
huge
Golden
difference.
age of movies.
Yeah. Because, like, Peacemaker was awesome, Lionheart was awesome, Side Out was awesome.
Yeah.
Warm as balls in here.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, what happened? Like, did the fan make that big a difference? Holy shit.
Liberty and Bash was terrible.
Yeah, Liberty and Bash got bagged. Because that one was just like false advertising,
Yeah.
is what that was.
Crash and
That was a
Burn
bait and
was
switch.
a very big disappointment.
Yeah.
I think Big was,
No doubt about it.
I think it was even worse.
What?
Pretty sure Robot Wars is the other unofficial sequel.
Yeah, but that has robots in it.
Barely. I fell asleep during that movie.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
And I want to say
Granted, we'd been out drinking and we started it at like 3 in the morning, but I still fell asleep.
Yeah, I did
And I should not fall asleep during a sequel to Robot Jocks, regardless of drunkenness.
It's like an hour and 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid short.
That's the best thing about
And
a
I
lot of
still
Charles
fell
Band
asleep.
movies. Yeah.
Hour and 8 minutes, fell asleep.
Like Cartel was pretty good. Street Hunter was awesome.
Are you looking at the spreadsheet right now?
I'm just looking through the YouTube streams.
YouTube.
House Party was cool.
Yeah,
Wheels
House
of
Party
Terror was fucking dope.
Man.
Shakma.
Hey,
Shakma.
PPT 901. Today's featured Hot Pocket flavor is croissant pockets, ham and cheese. Hot podcast.
Oh, not again.
What? He asked what the featured flavor was.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just sharing the featured flavor today
Uh-huh.
is the croissant pocket,
Yeah.
ham and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Ham and cheese.
Chi.
Cheese.
China O'Brien was awesome.
We've seen a lot of good movies this
Yeah.
year.
And again, I really think digging deep on a lot of these are just movies we would not have ever considered. We've never considered Dragon Fight.
No.
And we might have.
Well, we might.
No. I don't, no. If our
if-
criteria had been a Zadar movie, there are 50 other more popular Zadar
Well, I
movies.
mean, if we'd seen like a
Yeah.
screenshot and the
We probably
chainmail
would have
shit.
chosen this one over Dragon Fight.
Yeah, because of the director.
Right. Wasn't there a David? Is Bladette's a David Pryor movie?
No.
That was-
I think he wrote it or produced it.
Well, why do I seem like I feel like we came to that around the time of Deadly Prey and we just never did it?
I think the one night we were going to watch it,
Teddy Page? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
yeah, the one time we were going to watch it, BJ was like, we've done enough, like, dude takes on everybody else in the 80s movies.
I don't think we ever even started this one. What did Teddy Page do? There's some connection.
Well,
You do Omega Cop?
There's something where
I know Richard Harrison was in freaking Ninja Terminator.
Garfield film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No?
don't see a connection. It was something that
I think
came
we
up.
just wanted to watch that one amazing scene.
I know there was one night we started watching it but didn't keep going because it had like Swedish subtitles burned into it, and we were like, no, we can't.
Bloodettes?
Yeah, and I think it was the night you weren't here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember that at
because
all.
that's the night we ended up watching Adrenaline.
Really? Because I
Yeah.
thought it was Killing American Style we did that with.
No, we
Killing
did
American
that.
Style was just a shitty VHS copy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and then
And
once
it
they
w-
gave a real one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we watched that. And
Yeah,
man,
but-
that movie was a fucking disappointment.
Yeah,
too.
we tried watching Bloodettes, but it had burned in subtitles, and we were like, no,
Yeah.
it was just too distracting. But yeah, I don't remember what the connection is there.
I don't know.
I mean, granted, this was all before my time, but
We'll figure it out, Chuck.
I can't
Oh.
really.
Tell me, it was just us wanting to see that one
All right.
scene.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no real connection.
You know they're still making Pacific Rim toys? There's still new ones
Yeah.
coming out.
Really?
Yeah. I get like weird emails about it and stuff.
Yeah, they got one now. It's the thing with its wings expanded, and it's like in a full on like flight pose, and it comes with a thing you can strap like Gypsy Danger to be carried by it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like actually like put together two. Did you ever get your one with the ship?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. And it has interchangeable hands
Mhm.
so that you can make the
Oh,
because it has
Oh.
a set of open hands and a set of closed hands so that you can put one and the other and then grip them together. That's what mine is doing right now.
Wait, that's the one with the ship, and you didn't go with the ship?
The ship is there at its feet.
Oh, okay.
But if I could make it fucking do that, that's what I'm doing.
Sure, yeah, all right. I guess I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Seems like you need two different ones. I think you should buy a second one. And just have
Okay.
it carry the ship.
Okay.
That's my recommendation for you, Chuck.
It's a good idea. Thank you.
Sure.
I'll do that.
All right.
All right. I have two movies.
I think I watched
Ooh,
something.
what
I
Hot
couldn't-
Pocket flavor was it?
I just have one.
Croissant Pockets, ham and cheese.
Oh. Hot podcast.
Yeah, we did that too.
Ooh, what flavor was it? Yeah, I got two.
I'm gonna have to like look up more flavors of Hot Pockets. That was just the first one that popped in my head.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
run out of flavors in a couple of weeks. Is all I'm saying. It'd be that lean pockets thing with broccoli in it. Eventually.
Ew, it's
No,
not
you don't
real.
want that
It's
one.
not real.
I've had it. It's not good.
Broccoli.
That's
and
like
cheddar.
insinuating any of them are good. Like,
Hey. Pepperoni. Is there a duck in here?
It's someone step on a duck.
So,
so who has movies? You have a movie?
Dose.
Those movies?
I have a homework movie, but
Yeah.
Not yet.
Save that. Nothing.
I have one.
Oh, you do. Okay.
I have one that you guys discussed briefly, but I'll keep it short
All right.
so it can stay later.
All right. Let's fire this Fun Factory back up.
Oh, good. Fun Factory.
It's Play-Doh Fun Factory. All right, and welcome back.
Hey,
BMFcast.
Second half time.
All right.
Who's got movies that are new?
Nope.
Nope. All right, moving on.
Not new.
Oh, who's got any movies?
I have a couple. They're within the last couple years.
Oh, all right.
So
Please do continue.
I have a
New to
recommendation.
you.
Yeah, I have a recommendation, and I don't know what the hell this was.
All right.
So I'll start with the recommendation because it's quick. I watched the movie Rush,
Rush.
which is the Ron Howard
The
Formula
race driver
One movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was something that was on my DVR, and I was like, I need space.
You should have watched Gravity.
I have that elsewhere.
Oh.
Oh, space.
Yeah.
So I never was interested in Rush because Formula One, who gives a shit? And I just figured,
Lots of people.
like, why this doesn't interest me in any way. Why would I care about this? Luckily, the movie is barely about that. Like, the racing is sort of like the background story of. It's more of a character piece than anything else, and it's really great. It is. I am surprised at how good it is, considering the last couple of Ron Howard movies were so pedestrian and like what is he even doing anymore? This has a sense of style to it. It's got a sense of humor to it. It's really well acted. It made me give a shit about Formula One racing in the moment, not like
right.
I went in. I mean, I read some Wikipedia articles about the real people and like
hey.
was interested. So
Interesting.
yeah. So I would just recommend take a look at Rush. It's pretty damn good.
Did they play Tom Sawyer?
No, they did not.
Limelight?
Nope.
Sucks. Don't
Yeah.
want to watch it.
Okay. The other movie I watched was the first Hobbit movie. And
I've seen that.
I saw you live tweet it. It took you 47 hours to watch it.
Let's go ahead and throw this out there to start right with.
Yeah.
You do not like the Lord of the Rings. Is that correct?
I don't want
It's Chuck Fine.
I don't dislike the Lord of the Rings movies. I realize and identify that they are not for me. Like, this world is just the thing I cannot get into. Something about it just, my brain will not process names and places, and I just can't do it.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
baselining it.
I'm
I'm not here to try to defend the
I know.
Hobbit. Believe me.
I could not get into the Lord of... I mean, there are moments in them, like all the moments that people like cheer for and make fun of and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's well done, that's good. But for the most part, I'm just like, I couldn't tell you 3 things that happened in the first Lord of the Rings movies. Couldn't tell you. Man, The Hobbit. Holy God, that movie is long. It seems like everything takes 3 times as long to do. Like, the first act is just...
I wonder why.
people talk. I mean, yeah, you can stretch these things out, but each one doesn't have to be 3 fucking hours.
I remember trying to read the book, and like the first 20 pages went further than the first hour of that movie did.
Yeah.
Like, they had gotten further in the first 20 pages of the book than they had in the movie's first hour.
Yeah, it's
And that's not good.
I just kept thinking the whole time, get to a thing, get to something, interact with something instead of whatever this is, which is just dwarves who none of whom have any kind of personality, just being, I guess, generic dwarviness.
But there's a serious one.
Is there?
And then there's all the goofy ones.
Well, there's the most
They sing that
human-looking
song.
one.
They
Yeah,
sing that song.
They do.
They
They
throw the
they-
cups
It's
around. the room.
Yeah, they do.
Billy Jean.
Yes, they sing Billie Jean.
Oh wait, no, that was the better version.
Oh, I don't know. It just
Oh, Beat It. That's what it was. Beat It.
there are references to things in that movie that don't make sense. Like Gandalf makes a joke about golf, and I'm like, golf what? That doesn't exist in this universe.
Were
What
there
the
any
fuck?
golf jokes in the book?
I
don't
can't
think
imagine
so.
there were, but
There was a golf joke. I probably just
I don't
tuned out
remember
by
that.
point.
Gandalf says something about lopping off someone's head, like an ogre's head or something in battle, and it fell into a hole. And then just off camera, he says, coincidentally, that's how golf was invented. Ha! You know, it's like, did someone just dub that in as a joke and no one thought to take it out? That's just strange to me. It's so dumb, but it just took me out of the movie for a minute. Like, wait, golf? What? There's dragons in this universe. Golf was invented like in the 1500s in the real world. So, but yeah, that whole thing is just this group of whatevers doing a thing, which I still don't know what it is, and then they just get backed into a corner, and they're like, "Oh God, we're all gonna die," and then Jesus swoops in, or something happens to where it's just like, "You're free now. Go do the next thing." Every time.
I don't remember any Jesus either.
It's not actual
Are you sure,
Jesus,
like,
but it's like
sure
3
wasn't
times it's
Jesus?
Gandalf who shows up and he's just like, I will use my force powers and push everything away from you. And then other times it's fucking America Eagles flying in and saving everybody. It's
Wait, you're not talking about the Lord of the Rings, right? Or does that happen in The Hobbit too? I don't fucking remember The Hobbit.
this all happened in The Hobbit, my friend.
Okay.
Well, the Owls of Gahuli are in the Hobbit too.
Oh,
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
Or the-
Rise of the Guardians.
Right? Yeah,
oh, Guardians of Gahoo.
yeah. Gahuli.
Yeah.
Whatever
Gahuli.
the fuck that movie was.
So
I still think the whole Gollum scene is worth watching in that movie. I think that stuff is really great.
that's a tense scene. But when Gollum showed up, I was like, fucking really? Like, okay. And, you know,
Oh, wait, all
Isn't
right.
that part from the book?
Yeah.
I know,
Like one
but
of the few parts that's actually in the book.
I didn't mean it like, oh, we're. It was like, oh, of course Gollum is in
I
this.
mean, that's
Okay,
like when Jesus comes back. I'm like, really?
No, I didn't mean it
Really?
like that. I just, it just seemed like the whole thing of Bilbo getting the ring was so matter of fact. He was just like, oh, he's got the ring now. That's neat. And Gandalf was like, don't show anybody the ring. Wink. It's like, okay, kind of a big deal, but the movie's not making it one, so I don't care.
Well, because they didn't know for like
I know.
50 more years.
I know, but
Yeah.
it just and it's unnecessary callbacks to Lord of the Rings movies.
Those would be call forwards then.
They would, and that's what irritates the shit out of me
Calls
about
forward, I
prequels
guess.
is just the whole like referencing things that haven't happened yet. Irritates me, but
Well, then don't watch the next two.
I have to.
Why?
I don't know. I haven't watched
the
I'm
next
telling
two,
you,
and I read
the
the
next
books
two
and
get
like Lord of
way
the Rings.
worse in that regard.
Well, I can't wait, but they're clogging up my DVR, and they.
But
have to
at
go.
least things happen.
Delete them. It's
nah,
okay.
I gotta watch them.
You don't have to watch everything on your DVR, Chuck.
Yes, that is a rule. If it gets recorded, it has to be watched.
No.
It happens. But the one other thing I thought was funny was that at the very end of the credits, like the cast credits, they credit Benedict Cumberbatch, but the dragon doesn't do anything.
He also did Sauron.
What? When was that speaking? Like, when was that happening?
Is that in the first one?
I don't
When he
think
shows
so.
up. I thought he showed up in the first one
No.
because he's in the next two.
Like, Christopher Lee shows up for a while.
Yeah. But Benedict Cumberbatch did both Smaug
Yeah.
and Sauron
Well,
in those movies. I honestly, I don't remember what happens in each one anymore. I just remember the whole dancing and then the
not
freaking
funny.
sled chase.
yeah. But Smaug does...
I know Smaug isn't in that one.
He is in that one.
Oh, he is in the first one?
He's in the first, 20 minutes.
He did all the motion cap for it, too,
Oh, what?
For a dragon?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fire. What?
You haven't seen the videos of him with the ping pong suit on, like crawling around doing the face?
Then
and
maybe
stuff?
that's why they credited him.
Yeah.
You never see his face in the first one, but he wrecks the ancient dwarf city of Valhalla or whatever.
Yeah.
And
he did the motion cap for that shit.
okay, that must be why they credited him because he
Yeah.
never says a word. Like, so I thought they were crediting him snarling and shit, which was hilarious to me. That they called him into the studio
actually-
and went, "Rawr."
But he
Yeah.
did the snarling and shit too.
I know,
Yeah.
but
He did more than Paul Walker did on Tammy and the T-Rex.
we don't
I'll
know
tell you
that for
much.
sure. He didn't answer us. We don't know.
Okay,
Do not be Smaug his name, okay? Until we know for fact.
Do we need to tweet
No.
Benedict?
No,
I mean,
no, we
it's
don't.
not.
No, definitely not.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's probably solved in an IMDb trivia section.
Probably.
So, but yeah, I don't know. The series is not for me. I'm going to keep watching it.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
The story of Chuck. The story of Chuck, right there. If you want to sum Chuck up, that's what you do. This isn't for me. I'm going to keep watching.
That's how Chuck became an alcoholic.
If they weren't so culturally relevant, I would give up.
The Hobbit movies are not culturally relevant.
I haven't watched them, and I've read the book. I mean, I
The
don't give
Hobbit,
a shit about the other two
The
movies.
book and the Rankin and Bass animated version,
Yeah.
those are culturally relevant.
Okay.
The new 94-hour tour de farce is not culturally relevant.
As soon as those
I will say-
motherfuckers were bumbling and stumbling down that fucking barrel sequence, I was like, fuck this movie, fuck everything about this.
Yeah. I will
I mean, the
say
cups thing
the
was bad
second,
enough.
The second and third one are better, but that's not a high bar to get over. And you don't even like the regular Lord of the Rings movies, and these are like a step way below them.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you, it gets better, but barely. Barely.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah. The Smaug stuff's really good, though.
Who?
Sorry. Smaug stuff. The Smaug scenes are...
It's so funny. Like, they say his name 3 or 4 times in the movie, and every time it breaks the flow of dialogue because it's like they have to stop, and it's not a word that flows in any language whatsoever. It's like, and
It's the
then
name of a dragon.
his name is Smaug.
Smaug.
It's like something in a radio edit of a song that is a regular word being reversed because it's too filthy.
Yep.
So, yeah, The Hobbit. Boy, that's great.
All right. Then.
Thanks for that review, Chuck.
Glad you're enjoying it.
Man, this heroin's really not for me, but I'm just going to keep on doing it.
Well,
That's an entirely different problem.
Yeah, you know that's bad for you.
Either way, he's still chasing the dragon.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Ha ha! Jokes.
Oh, Jens is here.
Jens doesn't sound like that.
Of course he does. Just like Sylvester sounds like Bullwinkle.
Yes.
The cat. What you watch, Mackie?
Really weird thing happened. I had borrowed They Live from Chuck the week before Roddy Piper died, which is really weird that I had just been like,
killed him.
I guess, I don't know. I didn't tweet at him. I will say that. I did not tweet at the man.
Fair enough.
But I borrowed it because my wife is going to be out of town, and They Live is not a watch with the wife movie. So I borrowed it and then never got to watch it, and then everything else happened, and he died, and finally got to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's still pretty good. It's not the best Carpenter movie, but it's pretty damn solid, and it's really sad how relevant it still is politically. Like, might be even more so than it was in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But that is that movie's weird. Like as far as like where it decides to put things, like as far as like structurally.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it ends on some really like, we had all these jokes and we weren't sure what to do with them, so here they are. Like in the last minute of the movie, literally before credits.
Yeah.
But Carpenter is like, I don't know what happened to him going into the 90s, because it feels like everything in the 80s is like good to great.
Yep.
All of it. You know, I mean, The Thing is probably as far as Carpenter goes for me, like the top of the mountain for him. Which and that's also the problem, is I couldn't help comparing it to that and going, man, this is good, but it's not like that. Because, like, The Thing, like, you instantly know all these guys. Like, within 10 minutes, you're like, I know everybody. Whereas this one, it's a lot of Roddy Piper just going around, like, getting into this little world where he's homeless.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I like that the main character is a homeless dude.
Yeah.
And Keith David is apparently a homeless dude, too. And they're just like, hey, man, we're just looking for work. We'll take whatever we can get here.
Yeah, they have a little homeless community. And
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. My impression was like, I guess technically they were homeless, but I felt like it was more like, hey, we built this little commune here under this underpass. It wasn't like...
No, it wasn't like a state-sanctioned homeless park.
No, yeah, I mean, I was just saying, like, it was like they still had they weren't a crazy hobo. They were just like,
Yeah.
they happened to be homeless.
Circumstance.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's established as a drifter pretty
Right,
much
yes,
in the
yes.
beginning, because
Right.
he had work and then it all dried up, and yeah, now he's here. But I like that you don't really know what's going on for a long time, and you're discovering it as he's discovering it.
Yeah.
But like, it's very good at putting you in his perspective throughout. And then once, you know, he finally puts the glasses on and they have like the black and white Twilight Zone stuff. God, that stuff's so freaking good. Like, all of it is just the perfect mood and tone that happens between that.
Mm-hmm.
And Roddy Piper, it's like, it doesn't sound like it should work, especially, you know, at the time that it was made. It's like, really? You cast this guy? But then you realize that's exactly the guy you needed.
Yeah.
Especially once he gets to that fight with Keith David in the alley, which, you know, everyone talks about, was supposed to be 20 seconds long, and they're just like, no, we want to do like a real knockdown, drag out fight. And it's like a wrestling match, because it's like, you think it's done. You think he's done. It's over. And it's like, nope. I'm going to get up and tackle him now. And then he's like, no, I'm going to beat you down, and you're going to stay down, and then you're going to get up, and it just keeps
there
going.
like no less than like 3 or 4 suplexes too, or just
Yes.
like people getting slammed
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, and Keith David was like pretty jacked at the time too. Like, he was a big dude.
Yeah.
But the weird thing to me is, like, my brain had moved that to the end of the movie, and it's not like, it's like 2/3 of the way into the movie. It's way early, and then there's like the whole climax stuff after that. That
Like the shutting off the signal stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and like finding out like the where the hell they went, and you know, just all. There's so much good stuff in that movie, but It doesn't quite click for me all the way though. Like I really, really, really like that movie, but I guess it's one of those cases where I know Carpenter has better, so it doesn't quite connect on that level.
Yeah.
And the jokey stuff at the very end is kind of, I don't know. It's something about that doesn't work for me, and I don't know why.
I know I've never liked The Last Shot.
Yeah,
Like the way
that's more specifically what I'm.
the way it smashes to end credits has always been like, that's the worst way to end this. Like with that sort of like, it's like that's somewhere in the middle of your movie. That's not the last shot of your movie joke to credits thing. That's I haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember that shot always bothered me.
Yeah,
like that's just a weird way to end this.
Well, yeah, because I mean it's going such a dark place before that.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, there should be just a holy terror breaking out everywhere, like immediate apocalypse happening. But it's that weird jokey bit. Yeah,
but it's still that movie's still pretty great, and that fight scene's still one for the ages, of course. And it's even though it overshadows kind of the rest of the movie. But ow, that hurt. That was my knee. But it does make it better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as always, anything 80s Carpenter is worth watching.
Pretty much.
What's the one that always gets the shit pile? Christine? I'm just saying, that's the one usually people are like, that's the one.
No one ever associates that. Like, that just seems to be the one that no one talks about. Like, it just doesn't seem like a Carpenter movie.
I know. I'm just saying, that's the one, and that is an 80s movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that's always the one they're like, he's perfect in the 80s except for that.
Yeah. And as usual, that Shout Factory Blu-ray looks fucking terrific. Because they get it.
They do.
That's all I can say about them. They get it every freaking time.
Yep. So. Yeah.
And now you have your movie back.
Great.
So you can watch it.
I have been wanting to watch it for obvious reasons. Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about Carpenter, really, just like recently, like what happened to that career path. And, I mean, it's just quick tangent. He never was really making hits, Like, even The Thing, like, that movie made because that was not what people wanted.
Well, it was out like the same day as E.T., I believe. So.
And people decided we like cuddly alien. We don't like this killing dogs alien, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, nothing was a smash hit. And when that keeps happening, the studios just aren't on your side. And I would imagine, like, every project going to work every day, it was probably just less and less fun.
Yeah.
It was just like, well, here's 20 million. Hope you make 19 of it back, please. And then you don't, and you're like, okay, well, here's 10 million. So it had to be just soul crushing, just continuing to think you're doing great work and no one is really recognizing it.
Well, and I also wonder if he's a guy that got hurt by like CG and that sort of stuff because he knew how to do practical stuff and like camera tricks to make things work.
Yeah.
If you watch Escape from LA, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like, well, no, films don't work this way. Like we're not going to take the time to, edit this way and, get these shots this way to work around this. We're like, just throw some CG in to make it transition, and I wonder if that happened. Because
that was probably the only way any of the effects were going to get done.
Yeah.
And, I mean, just the quality wasn't there. And you just, you look at Escape from LA. When that movie came out, it looked terrible. Yeah. Now, even more so.
I
but
still just have nightmares about that tsunami. So
that's so...
You're fond of shit. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that and jumping the motorcycle into the back of the truck just looks like... It's remarkable.
Yeah. Well, it's sad for, like we've said, The Thing might be the pinnacle of practical effects.
Yeah.
And, to end up having to go that route with everything that he did is a bummer. But, they live, aside from the effects of making the creepy alien people, like so much of that's just camera tricks and other stuff.
Yeah.
And dressing the same set completely differently. For glasses versus no glasses. But
yeah. Did he do the music in They Live?
He and somebody else, I believe. But yeah, it's that music is so weird too. Like it's like harmonica and other stuff, but with synths, but it's still terrific.
Yeah.
and it's like nobody else would do that. I think is the thing. Like Carpenter knew it gives it that little bit of a Western feel almost, but not quite. Like it fits.
Yeah.
That's what's weird. Is his soundtracks. Listen to him outside of the movie, and you're like, this should not fit at all.
Right.
But in the movie, it just fucking works.
Well, the story, I mean, fits the mold of a Western. I mean, this drifter comes into town. You know, nobody even realizes how bad the bad guys are, that they're even around until he exposes them and, you know, then does what he has to do to chase them out of town, essentially.
Yeah.
It's kind of a basic Western plot.
Yeah. It's weird how many of his movies are basic Western plots, but not Westerns.
Right.
Yeah.
He did that a lot. So,
It worked.
yeah, sure.
Anyway, I didn't really watch anything, just TV.
Eh.
TV's good.
We got to get a TV corner at some point and catch up on TV from the last couple months.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
Televisión.
But I guess in the meantime, do we have correspondence?
We do.
All right.
Sweet.
I like that.
Yeah, we have 2 voicemails. Do you just want to play the first one?
Banter, 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 everybody. Hey, it's voicemail time. We're going to get some voicemails to you in 1 second. Stay tuned. Right now, we're just going to talk about ourselves.
We had 2 voicemails from the same guy, but we're just going to play the first one. And we'll save the second one for next week.
Is the second one an apology?
Nobody just mentions his name, and he has a different question.
Oh, okay.
Than he did in the first one.
Well,
so.
you can't have 2 voicemails in the same show.
Well, you could.
Nah.
We'll save it.
Yeah.
It's just better that way.
It's voicemail music.
It sure is.
Is that the voice? Is that voicemail music?
It is now.
I never
long,
imagined
though.
the voicemail music being on trumpet. But I guess it is, like if you're doing a mail call,
Yeah.
whatever.
A bugle.
All right.
Yeah.
I have voicemail ready to go. Do we want to set it up? You'd be kind of...
Yeah.
Here is a voicemail.
No. No.
How about we just go back to...
All right.
How about some correspondence? We have some, right?
Yeah, we got a voicemail. We actually got 2 voicemails from the same guy, but we're just going to save one for next week because he had multiple questions.
Okay.
But this is from Tim.
Yo, BMFcast. I just discovered this podcast. I love it. See, I love bad movie podcasts, bad movie shows. I love them, but I can't believe I haven't been listening to you guys for the past 4 years. I just discovered you a month ago and been binging on your stuff, and you're my favorite by far now. Unlike the other shows, I mean, I can't talk about this now. I will call you back later when I can sort my thoughts about all the different movies that you do. You do stuff that other bad movie podcasts haven't. I listen to bad movie podcasts, watch the videos, and they do the same thing over and over again. Now, you've done Birdemic, you've done The Room, a bunch of them have done that, but those are must-haves on any bad movie podcast, are those 2. So I can see you doing that, but everything else you've done, boy, I can't even talk about it right now. I'll call you back later with that. I have 2 questions. One movie that I've seen that I haven't seen on bad movie podcasts or bad movie shows that nobody has done, even though everybody agrees that this movie sucks, is Armageddon. Why is that? Why has no one done a bad movie show featuring Armageddon? Is it because the special effects are so great that it's not a bad movie worthy? Is it because it has great actors in it, and is it because so many people love the show, the movie, or is it because it's a Criterion movie, or is it untouchable? Is my question is Armageddon a non-banfable movie? Is it just a movie that isn't cringeworthy enough to be on a BMFcast, or even bad enough to be a good movie? That's my question. Or is it too legitimate of a movie to be BAMF worthy? I'm talking about Michael Bay's Armageddon. Crash and burn. Have a good day.
As opposed to the other Armageddon.
Yeah, well,
well, as opposed to the actual Armageddon, maybe.
I did appreciate that. I'm talking about Michael Bay's Armageddon.
Well, I'll
There
tell you
might
why.
be another Armageddon.
I'll tell you
never
why
know.
we, as the BMFcast, have never done it. It's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the big one. Is we try to keep it around 90 minutes. We've made exceptions. We've done Southland Tales. We've done Speed Racer.
The Dungeon Siege fucking long version.
Dungeon Siege. Usually those are like, well, we're getting together and recording early on a weekend because we're all out of town during the week or something. It's not often we do super long movies because we record these after work, and we like to be home by midnight or near that.
If we all show up by 7, grab some food, watch a movie, come in here and talk, it's 11 midnight by the time we finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And why everyone hasn't done Armageddon?
Well, I mean,
I don't think it's universally regarded as
it's not.
bad. It's basically whether you like Michael Bay or not.
and that's usually the one of his that's like given some sort of weird pass. I don't get it.
It has space dementia.
It has space dementia. There's just so much dumb shit in that
Spamentia.
movie.
Yeah.
But like, it's the movie for people are like, no, that's his real movie. I'm like, that's the movie he made. That's his real. That is a film. I'm like, okay, wait a second. Like,
It is about a bunch of shit potentially blowing up and some shit actually blowing
I'm like,
up.
if you want to talk grounded Michael Bay, there's Bad Boys 1, a little bit. There's The Rock, sort of. But then there's like Pain and Gain, really. Is like, if you're like wanting to pick like a movie of his that's like not insane, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still say The Rock is way better than Armageddon.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll just go ahead and say that our Armageddon show, if you want my rating on Armageddon, it's 5 jocks. There you go. That's what's happening.
Look, I'm not someone, I don't know every facet of Armageddon. I've seen it a couple times. I really honestly don't remember much about it. It was on TV the other day and I caught a few minutes, and I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not the kind of person that would pick up on like dumb things and like latch onto them and be like, this movie's awful. Mm-hmm. But there was one that was like so dumb. I was like, this might like 20 minutes later, it was still like, I can't believe that shit was there. Like, when they're in space, I think it's Bill Fichtner goes and he's like, he's got the order of like, no, fucking terminate this and blow the bomb up now. We don't care if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And he goes to a secret box and goes boop, 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 and opens it up, and there's the classic safe with a gun just laying there. I'm like, this fucking thing just got shot into space. The gun wasn't strapped down, and it's perfectly sitting there ready to be picked up after this thing is launched and landed on a meteorite.
Wait,
or meteor.
That's what you focused on?
Gun. Look, have you ever watched a space movie? A space movie, 1,000 things bounce around.
They do.
Everything is fucking secured in a space movie, and the loaded
Also
gun,
in actual space.
Everything about that movie is dumb. That's why it's great.
Yes, yes, I agree with that statement.
Everything.
It's dumb and bad in the most charming of ways.
It's dumb and like, okay, but those things exist in the logic of the movie universe. A gun laying around loose on a spaceship doesn't make sense on any planet.
No, that whole subplot, including space dementia, is so stupid.
Right.
But that stuff has never gotten a pass from anybody.
I know. I'm just pointing that out. I'm just saying, like, of all the little things, I know that they're supposed to land and drill on a fucking asteroid and launch nukes on the inside of it. All dumb, right?
No.
But yes, it is.
Yeah, and I feel bad, but there are actually people that are like, man, when he has that whole flashback, I shed a tear at that. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah.
I feel bad, but I'm like, no, you should not be feeling this at the end of Armageddon. I'm sorry.
I legit love Armageddon. It's terrible. I know it's terrible. I know the average shot only lasts like 1.3 seconds long.
Yeah, and if it's longer than that, it's sweeping around a group of people talking constantly.
Yes. But it's like
I'd love to see the Steadicam guy, like how in shape he was in that movie.
Oh yeah,
because that fucker had to just be running in circles around the set, like of Billy Bob giving some weird exposition about deep drilling.
But I mean, any movie that has that fucking animal cracker scene in it would just be like, fuck this. But in Armageddon, for some reason, I will quote that shit till the end of days. It'd be like, it's just anytime I'm ever around like an exposed stomach and an animal cracker, I'm just gonna fucking make that joke, and that happens a lot, by the way. So
I imagine it does in your
All right,
It's your own stomach, but that's a little
yes, I'm constantly just laying in bed with a box of animal crackers. The gazelle.
I shouldn't eat crackers in bed.
The two twin titans.
Aren't these actually animal cookies?
yeah.
Shut up, Craig.
But I guess that's another thing. Like, if we feel too close to a movie, a lot of times we won't necessarily do it.
Yeah. Armageddon doesn't need our attention.
No.
It's fucking Armageddon.
Yeah.
Like, now, I'd like to get that movie out on Blu-ray or something, but
That's
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Criterion. Criterion, get on it.
yeah, I mean, you released it on DVD, non-anamorphic. Let's fix that shit.
I've been told not to like Armageddon a lot by people who are movie
Assholes.
assholes.
Thank
yeah.
you.
But I just can't I can't help but like that movie.
It's the Michael Bay thing. Like, people just feel like, no, this guy's bad. He does bad things. He makes bad things happen for other movies. And it's like, no.
Well, yeah.
I'm 100% on board with the Bad Boys. I don't like Armageddon.
Yeah. Well, and,
Yeah.
honestly, like, that's the thing, is Michael Bay has a style. I mean, it doesn't work with the Transformers movies, that's for damn sure, and I wish he'd stop making them, because those aren't good, and they're a waste of time,
Yeah.
and I think he has a certain talent, like, as an auteur, in the sense of, I have this style, and whatever I do, I'm going to apply it to whatever it is. And I appreciate that about him, is he's distinctive, and you know how his movies are going to look, and you know how his characters are going to behave, because he said, this is my thing, this is what I'm doing, and people are either on board with that or not, and the people that are not are sure as hell not. Like, they even be like, The Rock, man, fuck The Rock, and it's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
The Rock is awesome.
Anyone who says fuck The Rock, go to hell, buddy.
Yeah. But
Any manner of The Rock,
Yes.
by the way.
Any rock.
Any The Rock.
Yes.
But, I mean, to bring it back, I remember, I think we've had this discussion before. You're of the opinion that Armageddon is the real movie and Deep Impact is not good, right?
No.
No?
I like them both.
Okay.
Deep Impact is a real motion
That's
picture.
what I'm saying. Someone tried to tell me that the Armageddon was the real good movie.
No,
out of
that
it, too,
wasn't
and I'm
me.
like,
No,
I'm
no.
like, no, Deep Impact is like the real life, how would this actually happen to
Yeah.
people scenario, and Armageddon is a fucking Michael Bay explosion.
Yeah. They're two sides of the same coin.
Yes, but I'm saying
And they
like,
can both exist.
Sure. I mean, I'm not trying to say it has to be one of those, like, you pick a side and stick with it, damn it. But
Yeah.
I don't remember. I thought it was you and I were having that argument. I was like, how crazy are you?
I'm pretty sure that did not come from me, because I've always I love Deep
Yeah,
Impact.
Deep Impact's fantastic. Like I said, to me, that's a real movie about that scenario.
Yeah.
And Armageddon's
where
just like,
Armageddon's the fun thrill ride.
sure.
Yeah,
I just
version of it.
never
Armageddon's
found it fun.
dumb.
Maybe I'll watch it again. Maybe I'll change my tune. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, short version, that movie's too long.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Yes.
Can't speak for any other shows, but that's our reason.
All right. We also got an email from Scott from Dallas,
Wow.
who is kind of relates to tonight's episode somewhat.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
He says, recently I saw at the Alamo Draft House a little movie called Maniac Cop 2. I wanted to recommend it to you guys so bad, but I figured you'd turn it down because you've all seen it or just put it on the back burner forever. But I finally found an angle to sell you on, aside from how awesome it is. It was released in 1990. Put it on the list, guys, because that movie fucking rules. Robert Zadar is a straight-up murder beast in that movie, and it's got the best use of a flame suit outside of Maniac Cop 3. Speaking of Robert Zadar, did you know he used to be a Chippendales dancer before he got into acting?
What?
It's true. Now, you may be grimacing at the thought, but let me assure you that young Robert Zadar was actually attractive. If you want to see him post-Chippendales, he appears as a blonde hunk in Hot Chili. I know that's not exactly y'all's bag, but I think you're secure enough to at least understand when you're looking at what others would consider a good-looking man. At that point, you'll be left wondering one simple question. What the fuck happened to him? Did a dog gnaw on his face? Did he get too close to a weed whacker? Did he hit his head and forget how to properly exercise? The world may never know. Crash and burn, Scott from Dallas. Actually, he had cherubism.
Yes.
It's a actual disease that makes the lower half of your face continue to grow. And the only thing that fixes it is plastic surgery or it just magically going away. And I don't think he did either.
No.
So, probably because that became his signature look.
Oh, sure. He got
I'm
hired
sure-
for that.
Yeah. I'm sure at a
He-
certain point he realized that people love my face.
I mean, he made himself a nice little career.
Yeah.
He worked a lot, and as an actor, you want to work. You know?
Yeah. Even
So-
if he ended up having to play bad guys basically all the time.
Yeah.
But most actors are cool with that if it means they're getting work, you know?
Sure.
if someone showed me a photo of him as a Chippendales dancer, I'd look at it.
No.
I've seen many an attractive man in my life. I wouldn't shy away from going, look,
There's at
look
least
at him.
one in this room.
Maybe one.
I see one daily, like whenever I pass by a mirror.
A mirror with a picture of an attractive man.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's my aspiration.
So you take my picture up on it?
Yeah,
That's really weird.
It's my
Why would you
aspiration
do that?
photo. That's what I like to call it. I'm good enough. I'm smart.
Is
enough.
it young Robert Zadar that's on your mirror?
Yeah. And then there's just a bowl of hot chili there.
You eat a bowl of hot chili while you're saying your daily affirmations.
do.
Sure. That's healthy.
Yep.
I'm going to be as pretty as Robert Zadar. I'm going to be as pretty as Robert Zadar.
But Scott, we can tell you Maniac Cop 2, I should say, might be on the list for a certain month coming up.
Maybe.
I'd say it might have already been on the list.
Possibly.
So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's that.
That's it for this week.
Okay.
We'll save Tim's other voicemail for later.
All right.
I look forward to that. Tim's awesome.
Yeah.
Tim is a cool dude.
Yeah.
I like Tim already.
By the way, he was talking about Michael Bay's Armageddon.
Oh, was
Oh,
it?
Michael.
Oh,
Bay's Armageddon.
shit! I rescind everything I had said already.
No. So.
Whoops.
It's a shocking revelation.
Shocking. Time for contact information?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I'll take care of that right now. BMFcast.com. That's the website. Look at the right-hand side. We got a bunch of buttons that'll take you to all our social stuff. If you want to know right now the direct ways to get in contact with us, Twitter at BMFcast, email us, bmf@bmfcast.com, or give us a call on the Garfield phone, the BMFcast hotline, 9105-JOCKS-BMF, or 910-556-9263. That is it.
Bam. Boom.
Yeah, mic drop.
Boom and bam.
Boom and bam.
Bladow.
That's our new movie coming out next summer.
Boom and bam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blap, blap, blap.
No, that's the sequel.
It's boom and blam. Subtitle
No.
blah blah
No,
blah.
blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah is the movie coming out the year after. That's the
Oh, okay. Boom and blam 2. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Electric blah blah blah.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Let's.
Yes.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out. Bye, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Ladow.
Good night. and shit.
Yeah. Blam, blam, blam.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah
Blip and blow and
blah.
bloop de bloop.
Scooby-Doo.
Skitty bop.
Bop, doo.
Whee. All right. Podcast.
What is... that's Armageddon is in Amazon Women on the Moon, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what is wrong with my brain?
I don't know.
Man, I forgot J.J. Abrams worked on the screenplay for Armageddon.
Yes, he did.
That's so fucking weird.
That's how I sold it to my wife.
Really?
Like, J.J. Abrams wrote this. She was like, put that on. I'm like, hell yeah, put that
2
on.
hours later, she's like, I hate you.
Nah, she was all right. She knows what's good.
I guess I have to watch this shitty thing again. I mean,
Well, not with that attitude. Jesus.
I remember
from the
even in
writer of Die Hard
theater, I
with a
didn't
Vengeance.
enjoy it. Like, in the
It's-
theater.
Look, it is dumb in the best way. That's how you have to go into it. It is
What's that?
Armageddon.
Wait,
I know, I'm
you're like
back.
complaining that you're going to watch it again?
Kind
He
of
was
a little bit.
all grumpy there. He was like, "I'll watch this piece of shit."
You should watch Armageddon again. J.J. Abrams wrote the script.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Only
That guy
4
is making
people.
Star Wars.
5 people. 6 people. It took 6 people.
Tony
right?
Gilroy worked on it. What the
Oh yeah.
fuck?
Oh yeah. There's some uncredited names too that are quite surprising. Yeah, that script saw some hands.
What the...
What is
That is a-
happening?
that is a weird-ass list.
I just want to know who wrote Space Dementia. Like, who put those words down on like what committee? Like, how late in the morning
Did they
was
actually
it?
just say the word space dimension?
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah, they say he's got space dementia.
They say it like it's a matter of fact, like it's a thing.
Well, it
I've
is.
forgotten most of that movie, but I remember that.
Look, there may
more
be a
than
lot of dumb
anything
shit in that
else.
movie, but there is legitimately space dementia.
Steve Buscemi
Yeah.
is just firing off guns because he's got space dementia, and William Fichtner just says he's got space dementia. That's his diagnosis.
Well, yeah. I mean, that sounds obvious.
Yeah.
I give them a pass on the actual loose cannon inside of the safe, but Space Dementia, because of Space Dementia, really.
Well,
Yeah.
if anyone was going to get it, I think Steve Buscemi was the guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've bantered enough on both ends of this.
Yep.
Let's
yeah.
let's shut this thing down.
Good
Shut
night,
it all
everybody.
down.
Yeah.
Shut it the hell down.
Get the fuck
Yeah.
outta
Take us
here.
off the
Yeah,
internet.
time
I'm
to
gonna be
drive
off the
home in the
internet.
rain. It's
I'm
pelting that
excited.
skylight.
We're gonna leave the
Oh.
Mackie out in the rain. Goodbye.
Toodles, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for stopping
Bye.
by.
Bye.
We're over there.
Bye.
We're over here now.
Bye.
Remember to like, rate,
What
and
the fuck
review
is that now?
and subscribe.
Jesus.
It's Police Helicopter.
That's a
Okay.
helicopter.